All right. Evening, everyone. I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance II. Let's get into it. So, I did manage to find. It took some waiting and a bunch of. I basically had to talk to everybody in the gypsy camp, but thanks to Joey, I think it was, last week, who let me know that there is another quest. There is another quest from the gypsies that I managed to pick up. Sorry I didn't wait to pick it up on stream. I was trying to get it to trigger, and I was trying all kinds of things, and by the time I did, by the time I realized it was a quest, it was already deep into the conversation, so sorry. Let me briefly explain. So, the old woman, the grandma, basically, Aranka, found out that the voivod was cursed. Someone cursed him. So she gets together this wacky magical potion stuff, which is basically charcoal water, and dumps it over him, takes the runoff, and is going to use the curse water, or wants Henry, of course, to use the curse water to quench a new saber for the voivod. So he gets a cool curse blade. Yay! These people are just... Anyway, I'm gonna see if I can actually do that. I need to forge a saber. So to that end, let's go to Tachov, to the blacksmithy, and I will see. Am I hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry.
At your service, sir.
Quite hungry. Slurp, slurp. So let's make the voivod his curse blade. This seems like such a bad idea, you know? Actually, let me also see if I need to prepare any armor or weapons. Anything? Oh, hey, I do. Check it out. Okay. I have a lot of bandages. I do not need that many bandages. Oh my gosh. Whatever. I mean, it's fine. Sword's fine. Shoes, why not? Crossbow's fine. There we go. Alright, now on we go. Listen to that chainmail. Love it. Look at that helmet crest. Love it. Okay, on we go. Yeah, let's go to Truskovitz. Or not Truskovitz, to Takov. Because then, afterwards, we are going to also do the forge a special wedding present for Radovan, the blacksmith, to get our wedding invitation. Okay, do I actually have a recipe for a saber? Can I make a saber? Oh, cool. Reconaris saber. I don't know if I have all that. Let me go check. I might have to go kill a deer. Not none of this. I need fastening material. I need iron. Pig skin. I need steel. No. Okay, I need copper, exotic wood, which I have. Oh wait, no, that's for Basilard. Which I'd like to make a nice Basilard. It is better damage for everything but blunt than even the longsword that I've been wielding. So, I mean, if I can make a top quality Basilard, that's nice. But no. No. I tried a couple of times off stream, and it's best I could get for some reason was quality 2, even though my smithing is literally maxed out. It's 30, so maybe it's me. Anyway, Reconaris saber. Worthy of the voivod's position. Okay, so yeah, I need deer skin, I need copper, which means I need to go hunt some deer, and I need some copper, which maybe I can buy. I mean, I hope I can buy. I don't know where else I would get copper. All right, materials. Yeah, I can buy a copper. Just the one, please. Wait.
I'm glad you found
Just one, right? Yeah, one.
what we're looking for.
All right, deer skin. Let's go hunt us a deer. Now, where's the nearest deer hunting spot? Yeah, right up there. Cool. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, realistically, I could probably just, like, you know, I could buy one, but why? Let's, hey. Bullock?
Greetings, Miller.
Good. Wait, is that you? Henry, is it really you? It's me, Bolek. Remember?
Of course I do.
Kind
Bolek,
of.
chasing the Holy Grail. How could I
Oh,
forget?
right.
I see you traded adventure for honest work.
This guy.
Oh, no. This is just a disguise. Part of my plan, you know?
Oh, right. I get it. So, tell me then.
He found a poem
any more
that
leads?
seemed to lead him to the
I
Holy
took
Grail.
your advice and
Or
looked
he
for a
thinks.
map that would fit the rhyme. But it's harder than I thought, and bad luck clings to me like flies to a pig.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
How so?
Did you know that millers sometimes find themselves in possession of, let's say, hot goods?
I have heard that said.
I once won a treasure map from one. So
Yeah.
I figured if they have maps like that, maybe they'll have one that'll take me to the Grail. Anyway, I got myself this
Seems
great
legit.
disguise and went to the mill to join their guild. And that's where it all went to shit.
No.
I'll wager the Miller told you to bugger off.
Far from it. He said he'd let me in on all their secrets. But seeing
What?
as I was new to the trade, I'd have to pass this initiation. Then he hands me a little broom and says I have one night to sweep the mill until there's not so much as a speck of flour in it. Have you any idea how much flour there is in a mill?
I can imagine.
Well, what could I do? I just got on with it. I toiled like a fool all night. I did.
This is a snipe
I
hunt.
didn't even get as far as scrubbing that,
Ugh.
you know, that thing that turns round and round at the mill. And come the morning, the miller and his hands laughed and let the dogs loose on me. Backbreaking it was. I don't know how the other millers could have managed it.
Oh, you poor idiot.
Look, I think the Miller was having a laugh at your expense. No such initiation test exists. There's nothing special about milling.
You know what?
Oh, nice.
That
So you got
occurred
a
to
night,
me too.
Not off,
I
but
did wonder,
a night to relax.
as I was
hear,
scouring
Ken.
those wheels in the early hours, whether they might be fucking with me.
You think so?
Bloody bastards.
Do you have any other ideas?
Oh, no.
Well, I was thinking, if that parchment was given to me by a monk, perhaps the monks know where I might find the map and the rest of the rhyme.
That might not be a bad idea.
I've been sniffing around in Kuttenberg, but no luck. They're like the millers, the lot of them. They learn to read and then look down their noses at the likes of me.
I wonder if I should ask the scribe in Moskowitz.
Not all of them are that bad. I know this priest who's, well, let's just say he's not your typical priest. But he's a fine fellow, and his heart's in the right place. And it wasn't too bad in the monastery either.
What's the name?
I mean, yeah, you have to follow the rules, but you're safe and you've got a roof over your head. That's no small thing these days.
Wait, you've been in a monastery?
That's what I'm telling you. Only briefly, though.
That's a great idea, Henry!
What is?
I mean, if I could just sneak into the monastery,
Here we
I
go.
might be able to find something out. You've got to help me. How can I get in? Do I need one of their kussaks? Or whatever they call them rags?
Sussex.
I'll find one. I'm a master of
Oh,
disguise.
no. No. No, don't do that. No, don't mess with this poor guy. Okay, this guy is basically the protagonist of his own story, and it is this guy's ridiculous quest is a game that I would play. I would absolutely play as this idiot.
That's not as easy as it sounds. The only way to get in is to enter as a novice. At least that's how I did it. I had a writ. I could read and write, and when I cast away all my, as they say, worldly goods, I was accepted.
I see. But if you join the Order, shouldn't you still be there? Isn't it for life or something?
It is for life, but there can be exceptions. I had a mission in the monastery for a while, but now I'm on a mission outside. You know how it is.
Life sure is complicated. I'll
Basically,
have
he
a
had a
go
writ
at
from a
being a
noble.
novice.
That was his excuse.
And maybe
Really
it'll take me a
sketchy
little closer.
excuse, but
Thanks for your sound advice, my friend.
Good luck.
it's a
was
real
good to see
sketchy
you,
excuse,
my
but
friend.
it was an excuse nonetheless. Anyway, on we go. Oh wait, what's with this guy? Oh, it's a hunter. Okay. Huntsman, a hunter. Alright, so yeah, let's go here. To these, this deer hunting spot out in the woods. I need a deer hide.
Whoa.
Oh, that's not what I meant. I meant to call mutt.
Mutt!
I don't want a wounding arrow. I want I want hunting bolts, not wounding bolts. Whatever, I'll use wounding bolts. It's fine. Oh, beard's impressive. Oh, well, thank you. Been a little bit. Oh, hello. Hi there. I'm gonna shoot. All right. Missed my chance. You know what? I'm going to change clothes. These are my quiet clothes. Evening, Imp. How you doing? One of the biggest changes a couple of the biggest changes in this game. One is there's crossbows now.
Sick 'em.
That didn't work. Did you get it? Mutt. Did you get it?
Heal.
Oh, there you are. Hey.
Here, Mutt. Search.
Oh, no. No. I mean, maybe he did manage to kill the deer. The problem, of course, being that now it's lying in the woods dead somewhere. Oh, so you did give it... Yeah, so, Imps, I'm sorry I couldn't go... I didn't have time to go over it in any detail. Overshadowed by the two previous... I mean, that can be fine. I mean...
Sick 'em.
Woo! Go for it, Mutt. Yes! You've taken one. Is there a blood tracking or print tracking ability? No, there is nothing that even, like, remotely smacks of anything vaguely magical. There's no, like I know exactly the kind of thing that you're thinking. It's that, like, the Assassin's Creed Eagle Eye kind of look. Nothing. Nothing like it. Antler shards. Nice. Deerskin. I need that. Antler. AO. All right, Mutt, you can have the heart. Hey, Mutt.
Here, Mutt.
Here you go. Have a heart. Take heart, Mutt. See what I did there? All right, let's change back. They are technically stolen, but whatever. I got the deer skin. I got what I need. Let's go back to Tarkov. Let's clean up. Imsim says, it was all young people speaking that day. One was a returned missionary. She cried during her talk. That got most attention. Of course it did, naturally, as such things often do. The second talk was from an ex-alcoholic, ex-drug addict. Wow, who's now a father of 3. Theirs was all personal. Mine was mainly throwing scriptures and a short personal story about how my car got totaled in January. It basically tied how investing in insurance protects you, how investing in spiritual insurance, Jesus, saves your soul. Okay, all right, I dig it. I dig it. We need to sharpen up. I'm gonna save your schnapps. I'm gonna save your schnapps. I don't need a Henry's. I just need a. Yeah. Saved. I want to make sure that this is going to be good. So, I don't want to screw it up. My son is much better. So Michael has been very gradually recovering. We went to the doctors. We got him some medicine. It turns out he had some various, like, all kinds of sinus infections, like ear, eyes. Like, he had an ear infection, eye infection, throat or bronchial something. He had several different, like, bacterial infections. So we got him some antibiotics. We got him some eye drops. We got him some like respirator medicine, nebulizer medicine. That's it. So he's not been liking it, actually, but he's getting much better. He is almost completely back to 100%. So glad to say. Oh, yeah, a like temporary blood trail kind of thing would have been quite cool. A little bit hard to implement, maybe. At least implement realistically. Maybe they could have done it if they'd kept it relatively simple. And just had it be, it leaves a trail of literal blood droplets that you can see.
Silly doggy.
This is very relaxing, by the way. I love the smithing minigame. This is honestly one of the biggest, Kevin, the smithing minigame, this is the forging thing. This is probably one of the biggest improvements in this game over the previous. Oops. Weird.
I should do it more evenly.
It's a working tune, basically. This is actually a really common technique where it helps you get a rhythm.
All finished.
There we go. It helps you get a rhythm for the striking. It's common for one having a rhythm to hit the product, which you want to do, right? You want to make sure that you're pounding it evenly with the same strength for each blow and keeping it evenly spaced and all of that. But then also, it's a timing thing to keep track of how long it's out of the fire, and to keep track of how long it's in the fire, and how long it's quenched, and all that kind of stuff. Top quality. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that Martin's Mark. Are Floridians big pirate fans? Okay, so we have this thing called Gasparilla. Gasparilla is a parade. It's mostly a drinking festival, but it's this like huge significant parade in Tampa, which is
any better than this?
Entirely pirate themed. It's annual. This big annual pirate themed thing. It's a parade. It's a boat parade, and the boat parade is led by a not a real pirate ship, but an authentically built pirate ship. Like it's a big wooden and a big old wooden ship. Like it's a big old pirate ship that leads this boat parade, which is like it's very neat. Very neat. Let's put those in there. They're stolen. I don't want to keep them. I want them in my inventory. Anything else? Deer antlers. Those away. Alright. Alright, let's go back. Let's bring the Voivod his... Oh, wait, no, wait. No. That's right. I need to kill a dog with the saber. Okay. And by dog, I probably just mean wolf. Like, I'm probably going to kill a wolf. I'm probably not going to actually kill a dog. Where are the wolves? There's a wolf den somewhere. It was up here. It was nearby. Right? Yeah, right up there. Yeah. There we go. I haven't been for a long time. I don't really. You have pirate fairs like Renaissance fairs by the beach in Southern California. That's pretty cool. I prefer things like Renaissance festivals than a lot of the pirate themed stuff, just because it turns into just purely it turns into a drinking festival and not much more. And that's about it. So yeah. But yeah, it's a big deal around here, around the Tampa area. Kevin said the Toonies whistling sounded like one from the original. Like you might hear walking through the forest or in the town during the day. Yes, yeah, it is actually.
Whoa!
There's some guys over in this camp. I'm actually not part Irish. I'm part Scottish and I'm part Italian. So yes, drinking is very much in my blood, but I don't do a whole lot of it. Never have really. Never been big into especially heavy drinking. Now, I say that. No, McCoy. It's the Scottish McCoy. The Irish variant is MCCOY, the normal spelled one. The normal spelled one. My name is a variant. It's a spelling variant of McCaig, MCQUAGGE, which is part of Clan MacDonald. So Scottish, let's say northern Scotland, the Highlands and the Hebrides. That sort of area, that sort of thing. Oh wait, I have to equip the saber. I forgot. Which, I don't actually have any perk points in sabers, so let's see how this goes. Hey, woofs, come here. Chop choppy. God, okay, I have. There we go. What? You? We good? All right, we golden. That actually, I actually got hurt there. No, silly me. All right, I'm gonna see about at least getting some ears. And for Mormons, drinking isn't allowed. For Catholics, unless you drink the alcoholic blood of Christ, you cannot get to heaven. Correct. I mean, that's kind of true. There is... that's a little bit stretchy. Because technically, the body, blood, soul, and divinity of Christ is fully and substantially present in both species. That is to say, you can just consume the host and not the cup. Technically. And still receive the body, blood, soul, and divinity of Christ. And still receive the Eucharist. So, it does remain. It does retain the accidental properties of alcohol. The cup does. Take those. That. But yes, otherwise, yes. I would say though. Given transubstantiation, I would say that a Catholic cannot, like theologically speaking, cannot be a vegetarian, because you need to eat flesh, the flesh of Christ, but flesh nonetheless. Hampton says, "I don't understand strict Protestants who don't drink or go to parties when Jesus and the apostles did." I don't know, man. It's... What? Where do these things keep coming from? Was like half the pack out wandering about? Anyway, whatever. Are there more? Where? Okay, listen. Is that it? I mean, look, Christ's first miracle was literally at a wedding, and it was also prefigurement of the Eucharist, kind of. I mean, there's enough tradition to say that the wedding feast at Cana is a prefiguration of the Eucharist. So, that said, I'm drinking beer, so. By the way, in my nice pints with Aquinas Stein, no less. But I'm having a beer over the course of 3 hours, so, you know. It's hard to call this drinking. Yeah, there's a Bible verse that says drink and be merry. There is a suggestion from St. Paul to drink wine to help your stomach, to help settle your stomach. He tells it in the, letter to Timothy? Or was it one of the ones written by Timothy? I cannot remember, but regardless, it happens, you know? So, yeah, it's not, it shouldn't be that controversial. Okay, let's wash off, recover our health.
You have a kind.
I love that perk, by the way.
Mutt?
Love that perk. Nope, they're both good. The blood needs to stay on it. Yeah, keep it nice and bloody. I'll eventually be selling those pelts. Maybe to a hunter. Oh, there's actually, now that I think about it, there's a hunter in the nomads camp, so I can do that. Sweet. I should have eaten before I left, but whatever. It's fine. Kevin says as a former Protestant, the reasoning was to avoid the appearance of evil, but of course the problem there was that they equated the substance with the misuse of the substance. And yeah, that is the thing, right? It's the same problem, or it's an equivalent problem to suspicion of sex, right? The idea that sex is that there's something intrinsically wrong or even dangerous about sex, which no.
Do you buy...
That's right.
That's not many, but whatever.
Here they are?
A dead wolf is a good wolf.
It was
All
good
right
to
then.
see you, my friend.
I don't know who I'm going to sell the pelts to.
Greetings.
Whatever. 35 groschen, not bad. But yeah, it's there is something to that though, wanting to avoid the appearance of evil. It's essentially avoiding scandal, right? The sin involved is scandal, which is the idea that you can, by doing something that is explicitly or obviously or could be even misconstrued as sinful, what you're effectively doing is you are encouraging others to actually sin, because you're giving them the impression that, well, I'm a Christian and I'm doing it, so it can't be wrong, right? That's the idea, which there is an argument to be made there, but I don't think the argument to be made there is for drinking, really.
What would you like, sir?
What should we toast to? I don't know. Well, I'll toast to Michael's recovery. Glad he's feeling better. That's something, since we were talking about that earlier. Let's see. About the curse. Actually, do you want to buy these pelts?
Show me your where.
You need this more than I do. Other. No, you don't want to buy pelts. Okay, fine.
Thank you and come again, sir.
Okay.
Dikas. Sertuke,
I don't know what that means.
About that saber for the Voivod.
have you forged it yet? Show me.
It's ready. I quenched it in the soot water.
What about the blood?
I killed a dog. I did everything like you said. Here you go. I think I did a pretty good job with it.
Shukariben. Beautiful. The Voivod will be happy about how well it fits in the hand.
See, I love the
You're
whole,
probably
like,
waiting for a
telecommunication thing.
revolt,
It is trippy, though.
aren't you? Here, just take it. We've got enough to share. And here's something for you to wear. Let other
To wear,
folks
huh?
see that you're our friend.
Thank you. I mean it.
Ah, at least it'll be clear to all. You're one of ours and you don't wish us ill, unlike certain other people.
What do you mean?
When the Voivod was washing away the curse, I looked at the coals in the water. They made circles on the bottom. That means the Voivod was cursed by a woman.
A woman? What woman?
The coals didn't say, though I do have an idea who it was. But enough of that. I'm sure you have enough on your plate already. And we thank you, Miromanush. Take care.
She's gonna want me to kill a lady, isn't she? I received the vagrant's hat. Let's see. Ooh. That might actually be really good for my, It is. That's fantastic for my sneaking outfit. Yay. Oh gosh, alright, that's good for my sneaking outfit. Kevin says, even now for the sake of sensitive brethren, I avoid drinking in certain company. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm on board with that. But I'll instruct those around on the truth and the distinction between substance and misuse. Yeah, absolutely. Right. So like if I'm out, hanging out with a friend or with friends, and I know one of them is a recovering alcoholic or something like that, like I'm not gonna get drunk. Hey, Baze, how you doing? You doing good? But yeah, that would be inappropriate, right? That would be in that case scandalizing. It would be, if nothing else, providing an indication of sin, and if not, it would be a kind of almost a taunting reminder of, here's something I can have that you can't, or that sort of thing. Which no one. That's if absolutely nothing else, it isn't nice. But I would go beyond that, right? I'd go beyond that to say that it is, in fact, an irritation to sin, that it is, in fact, ethically inappropriate. Yeah, it's important we never call evil what God has created good, or God has called good, and alcohol is a created good. Yeah, absolutely. It's not a natural good per se, so we should be careful about that. But right, it is an artificial good. It's an artifact. It's something that we make, but it has been made by God, literally. So yeah. I'm gonna sell that felt hat. If the tailor shop is open. Yes. Yeah, abusing alcohol is bad, like abusing anything is bad. So yeah, that's just to say that it's not alcohol, or even really the abuse of alcohol per se, that's bad. It is, it's gluttony that's bad. It is consumption to excess. Excess consumption of food can be just as sinful as excess consumption of alcohol. Washy. Boing. Yay! Hopping Henry.
Interesting.
Anyway, sorry. There is also a flycam screenshot mode in this game that was not present in the first one, and I love having fun with it sometimes. It's awfully silly. I'll haggle this one.
Let's talk about the
mode.
price.
Well,
I greatly enjoy it once in a while. It's fun to play around with. It's also fun to like
really well. Very well.
To explore.
Glad to be of help to you, good sir.
Explore places that you otherwise could not get into, right? So like, oh no, it doesn't let you in. Okay, it doesn't let you through things. Let me through this window. Aw, man.
Nice.
No, okay. Because there are some times when you can just go to extreme lengths, like. Okay, it only lets you within. I've seen it let me further. I think there might be a mod to break the distance or something. I know some people have. And just basically let it be a flycam, which is this is a really cool game to have a flycam in. I'll just tell you that. The environments in this game are just incredible. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me again. All right. Imzip had a philosophical question. On social media, I often see videos of people tricking their friends. They show them a picture or a video of a sexy woman who turns out to be a transgender man, or trans woman, a man, transgender. And then they say, "Oh, you're really gay." If they had no knowledge of the true gender of the individual, yet they look like a genuine woman, is it really gay, or is it simply a trick? Do you think?
Hey, it's me. Come over here.
No longer calling me Hans, then.
Oh, this guy.
Well, see, I discovered the
This
truth.
guy thought I was
about
somebody
that.
else. I will answer your question in a moment with a good example. But here, let me talk to him.
Hans double-crossed me.
How do you know?
I found out by chance. It wasn't just me that fell for that tale of selling wares for a tidy profit in Germany. He'd take people to taverns, get all friendly with them, then take all their goods
I really
and
hope
vanish.
this Hans is not the Hans that I know.
How many people are we talking about?
I know of at least 3. But it wouldn't surprise me if there wasn't a lot more of us.
It happens all the time. Well, you should report him. They'll catch him and give him what for.
It's already been done. He got caught with stolen goods somewhere. Then one thing led to another, and they found out he was involved in all sorts of dodgy business.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
I suppose so. But it made me realize how hard it is to trust anyone these days.
Not everybody's out to get you.
I hope you're not, at least. Sorry I mistook you for him.
No.
But you do look a lot alike.
So, chances are you won't be seeing your money from Hans again, will you?
I mean, I did pay you.
Oh, see, that reminds me. I need to pay you back for what you gave me last time. Hans may have been a crook, but I pay my debts.
No,
Nah, you keep it.
it's only 100 groschen anyway.
I'm sure
it's
you
fine.
need it more than I do right now.
Seems that not all people are bad after all. May God repay you for your kindness.
Yeah, yes,
I'll be on
Kevin.
my way.
Some women do have mustaches.
I'll be with you.
I'll be with you,
I
good sir.
I am Italian. I know this.
And my old woman wouldn't let me in. She said the door was stuck.
Okay.
What a load
Question.
of tripe. She was clearly
Related
buying
question.
time for a fucking
Bara here.
bedmate to get dressed.
Pretty, attractive. What do you think? Yeah, maybe. I'm not gonna be lewd or anything, but I was not gonna also go to a bath wench or whatever. But yeah, what do you think? Bara is attractive, an attractive woman? No, she's not. She's
Nice
just
one.
pixels.
Seeing
She's
men.
she's
I tell
just
ya,
a she's
I might be scrawny,
not actually a
but I
real woman,
swear to God,
right?
I
So
really
to
don't
say
really
that
changes.
Bara over there, right, looks attractive or looks pretty or beautiful or whatever, right? She's a pretty lady, if you will. To say that is exactly the same as to say that particularly a photo of a man pretending to be a woman
Good day to you.
is.
What brings
because
you here?
it's just a trick. It's a deception.
Will we meet again?
Maybe it's an intentional deception. Maybe it's trying to trick. Maybe it's trying to fool. Or maybe it's a harmless deception, the kind that SCOTUS would do is perfectly fine, right? It's the kind where where everyone's in on the joke. Like, nobody actually thinks that Bara over there is a real woman. But the man acting as or putting on the appearance of a woman is trying to trick you into thinking that he's a woman. So there is a difference in the kind of deception there, but in either case, it's a kind of deception, right? That's all it is. Sure, you can be fooled. That doesn't mean that you're attracted to men. And because here, let's go further. I bet that Bara, and presumably most of the women in this game, were created by at least some male developers. In a similar way to how a quote trans woman was created, so to speak, by a male man. Right? So yeah, no, I don't think that it's not gay. I mean, it's we can certainly say there is something disordered about it. But it's more the disorder of the deception rather than the attraction, than falling for the trap, so to speak. If you'll pardon the horrible pun. No, wrong button. Torch is down, not up.
As pure as mine can't be a sin. It's a gift from God himself.
What are you on about? It's just a painting on the wall.
Kevin says that's like making a vegan burger that looks like a real burger and saying that if you feel hungry for a real burger, then you're a vegan.
That's just the
Yeah,
way
no.
it's painted. You feel
That was
like
strict.
he's looking at you, but it's nothing but paint on
I will get to your question in a
plaster.
moment. So,
Nothing more.
but like maybe the best example of this, a parallel example might be something like, suppose I go to eat something. Suppose I'm a vegetarian, or suppose I'm Catholic, which I am, and it's Friday, and somebody says that there is no meat in this, whatever it is, and I eat it, and they were wrong, they were mistaken, and there is meat in it, unbeknownst to me. I found out after the fact. Did I sin? Oh. No. Now, this could be construed as saying, though, well, what if you just, what if you had sex with a trap and just didn't realize that it was a man? Okay, so two things. One, you'll notice at some point. You'll notice at some point. Don't play that stupid game with me. And then further, did you marry a man thinking that he was a woman? Because then you're not licitly married. You're not validly married. Both due to the innate sexual incompatibility as well as the deception involved. Right. So there you go. You're not actually married. You were not to be too dramatic about it, but you were raped. There you go. Oh, yeah. So, Imsimp, I know exactly what you're talking about. Imsimp says, I remember commercials where they went to a high-end fancy restaurant. Instead of serving their burgers, they bring out Carl's Jr.'s burgers and pass them off as gourmet and reveal it at the end. Yeah. There's also what was it? There's this restaurant where the gimmick is you eat completely in the dark. So you can't see the food, so you're supposed to experience it only by taste. It was really fancy. But then it turns out everything was completely vegan. And the game is to say that if you're only tasting it, vegan food is actually good. So we gotcha. So that's just tricking you. That's all. It's silly, is all it is. So Imsip asks, I've wondered why transgenderism is so prevalent nowadays, and I have a few theories. It's a meme. That's all. It's a meme. It's literally, in the strictest sense of the word, it is a meme. It is the...
All right. This is already sharp.
Yeah. It is an idea that developed culturally, primarily from academia, right, in the sort of postmodernist... post-structuralist movement. And then the idea spread, and then it hit a critical mass in society, which is a very small critical mass, but it's still a critical mass, enough to spread, very much like a virus of the mind. But it is a meme. It is an idea that transmits from mind to mind, especially but not exclusively through the internet. But you also find it in in-person friend groups. Listen, Kevin, I am not monetized, so I can say whatever the hell I want. Oh, so I just came from confession from Holy Week. I say this again, I've given up profanity for Lent. It slips sometimes. Sorry. But yeah. But yeah, memes. It's a meme. It's literally a meme in the almost in the original Richard Dawkins sense of the word. It's a meme. But anyway, no, I'm not monetized, so I don't have enough watch hours to get monetized. So, just go ahead and, leave my streams on, just in another tab if you want. Just keep those going, 24/7, and I can get monetized. I'm only, I don't know, 50% joking there. You can actually do that. It will actually help me. Anyway, sorry. Imsim says, I think people are genuinely under the delusion of believing they're stuck in the wrong gender, but it's extremely rare. Yes, true. But I think that even those who have that genuine experience, have that actual subjective experience, do not have... There's nothing innate about it. It's still a meme. That they would not have these sensations and would not categorize them as such without this idea that passed to them primarily through the internet, but not exclusively. It really is genuinely a meme, even if the most benign form of what you're describing, of gender dysphoria, is feelings of discomfort with puberty, which then get interpreted within a framework set up by transgender activists in person and online. That is the most benign form of what is essentially gender dysphoria. Imsim continued, sorry, and I think some people want the attention and do it for that reason. Well, yeah, that's the whole Transhausen by proxy, so to speak. That's the mostly liberal single mother, the liberal white single mothers who have, 3 trans kids. They're puppies in handbags. That's all. So you're not going to give me watch hours, so I can continue to be free. Thanks, I guess. Thanks, Kevin, I suppose. Oh, gosh. Well, if I really want to stay demonetized, I can just start talking about anti-Semitism and the Douglas Murray Dave Smith debate. Did anyone catch that? It was delightful and horrible. It was a fun debate, but man, there was some real stupidity going on there.
It's about those
If
two
you didn't see it, I'll link
hands
it.
of mine.
John already
and
linked it in the
Franzi.
Discord, so I didn't bother there.
They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semin.
Oh.
And they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up. And especially the cargo. Go to Semin and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Oh. Okay. This isn't what I was expecting. I was expecting to just forge a sword. But it's question time, boys. Let's go.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semin that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semin.
Okay.
Those 2 hands of yours, Venza and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long, but these days I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semin wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Semin's crossbow. And some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
There's a good chance that someone just stole a cartload of weapons.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Yes,
Gladly.
sir.
I'll kick some sobriety into them.
Alright, let's do this.
Farewell,
The
sir.
Jaunt. Head to Samin. Let's head to Samin. Kevin said anti-Semites are kind of insufferable these days. I miss the days when they were worried about the banks in Hollywood being controlled. Now it's everything. The wind blows and they cry. Yeah, it's... I don't know. It's a fascinating topic, and I do kind of want to talk about it because it is interesting, like I said. But before that, speaking of conspiracy theories, Imson says the Catholic Church has prohibited Freemasonry. I agree with this. But what are some reasons why the Church has historically prohibited Catholics from joining Freemasonry and continue to prohibit Catholics from joining? What is going on here? All right, he's fine. Whatever. Just let him be. First of all, it's a secret society, and Catholics are blanket permitted from joining societies with secret initiation rites. Again, primarily just because it is it's the same reason as the prohibition against oath taking, that you are agreeing to something in advance that you cannot in principle know. Right. So because you can't know what you're agreeing to, you cannot in good conscience agree to it. Right, fair enough. Simple as that. I suppose there's more to it, but that's the first point. Like cow. Excuse me. The other more serious issue is, yes, they push religious indifferentism and have what are effectively pagan rites. Meanwhile, we'll pray while we do this based game.
The angel of the Lord
While we
declared
talk
unto
about
Mary,
this. Oh, this is a new
and she
perk I got, by the
conceived
way. I
of the
can
Holy
pray at
Spirit.
shrines and get a buff for it.
Hail
Love
Mary.
it.
Mary said,
Um,
Behold the handmaid of the Lord. Be it done unto me
Oh,
according to thy word.
Imsinfast, did I incur automatic excommunication
Hail
when I
Mary,
joined
and
the
the
Mormon
Word was
Church?
made flesh,
I've often wondered about
and
that.
dwelt among
If so,
us.
how I can remove it?
Hail Mary. Pray for us,
Talk
O Holy
to
Mother of
talk to your
God,
priest. You
that
may
we
need
be
to talk to
made
your
worthy
bishop.
of the promises of Christ.
If it
Let us
is a
pour forth,
an
I
automatic
beseech thee, O
excommunication, a
Lord,
bishop would have
thy
to lift it.
grace into our hearts, that we to whom the
So I
incarnation of
would
Christ thy
certainly
Son
look into that.
was made
Absolutely.
known by the message of an
I hadn't
angel,
thought of that.
made by his passion and cross.
It
be
may
brought to
even
the
qualify as
glory of his
apostasy, which
resurrection,
I mean
through
technically,
the same Christ
sort of.
our Lord.
So
Amen.
again, talk to your priest and see if you need to talk to your bishop, because you might. Even if so, it is absolutely the kind of thing that a bishop can see to, I guess I should say, and resolve. Which road is it to Samine? Yeah, it's this one. It's the left branch. And who are these guys?
How now, good man? You might be interested in some nice wares.
Sure, why not? Is it difficult to reach a bishop? It can be, but
I'm interested in this.
for a matter like this, it's the
How's
kind of
things,
thing
Goodman?
that a
That's
letter
what
or an
Yves
email
got
will
you.
probably get you a
What
response
would your
to, because
name
it's
be?
important.
Folks call me Carol. Have we met before?
They
Think
call
so.
me Henry of Skalitz, and no, there's little chance we met before.
Corachacho. Maybe not, but that does not mean I have never heard of you, Gacho.
How's that? How could you have heard about me?
You're the one who saved young Tibor, Laches, Mistes.
Lashes mistes? What does that mean? Praying into modern video games, white pill, definitely Christ pill? Yes, absolutely beautiful. I will say the one complaint I've seen about this, and I sympathize, is the dearth of churches, particularly churches which are enterable, that you can go into and see and explore and pray at, whatnot. The first game had basically a church in every town, or nearly every town, and they were all completely open, completely accessible. This game, I think it might only have like the monastery in Kuttenberg, and I think that might be it. But a lot of that was development time, unfortunately. There is, from what I hear, a DLC that has something to do with that, coming, I think, later this year. I think it's sometime Q3 or Q4 this year. So, maybe. Might be neat. Might be neat. Baze says, it's a story of the ants and the grasshopper. It's technology, so basically the story of A Bug's Life. Yeah. I relate things to Pixar movies because I have small children. As technology and medical science advances, a lot of the negative consequences for laziness and immorality are mitigated. We're constantly renegotiating the norms, the general broad, I mean, social mores more than norms per se. In light of this, a lot of transgenderism is entitlement. Why should I be limited to my biology when modern science removes the barrier? That's part of it. Part of it is the idea of being limited by my biology is, well, first of all, you're right that science allows for this, that modern bioengineering, if you will, allows for this to even be a concept that can be explored. But then beyond that as well, I think that it's a kind of existentialist fear of being limited by anything, including by nature, right? Like the Jean-Paul Sartre, the sort of leading existentialist, said it like this: that if God exists, I am not free. The implication, of course, being that God's existence imposes certain things upon me, right? But we, as Christians, understand that that's not actually the case. Yes, it imposes certain things upon me, but those things are for my very nature and for my flourishing. But the existentialist denies this, denies that we have such a nature that can flourish, that flourishing comes from the choices, the radically free choices that I can and do make, right? So there you go. If if we think about it that way, if we think about it as a choice striving towards what the existentialists see as authenticity, yeah, transgenderism is a kind of radical liberation from reality, if you will. It's kind of the ultimate apotheosis of postmodernism in that sense. Imsim says, my significant other says she isn't a big fan of Disney since they're liberal now, and I'm not sure what to say. Since as a Californian, I go to Disneyland. I'm a Floridian. I've been to Disney World like throughout my entire life, but I haven't really gone in some time, and even my kids have gone a lot less of late because of how things are turning and how things are changing. I can only hope that it can change. It can change back for the better at some point. And I will say, just from experience, it's not what it used to be. It's really not what it used to be. Yeah, I'm gonna put it this way. I still love A Bug's Life. Bug's Life was made in 1997, 1998, something like that. Back when Disney was cool. But Disney used to be a great company. Genuinely. A brilliant, based, creative company. Just because they're not now, Walt Disney would hate the Disney Corporation as much as we do. So there's that. Yeah, Kevin says back to anti-Semitism. Great, back to it. Let's go. I'm still annoyed with equating the disagreement with Zionism to Jew hatred. Yeah, absolutely. That is the entire disagreement that leads to the whole woke right canard. It's woke right, the phrase woke right, basically just refers to anyone on the right critical of Israel. Right? And typically, and this is entirely James Lindsay's fault, because the man has lost his mind. And also he hates Christianity and has hated Christianity since since back in like 2010. So of course he does. But in any case, right? So the phrase woke right has essentially just come to refer to anyone on the right who is critical of Israel. That's it. That's what it means. And so this means that the likes of Daryl Cooper, one of the most empathetic historians who's ever written anything I've ever seen or heard or read or whatever, gets lumped in with the likes of Nick Fuentes, the brownest white supremacist who's ever lived, who's also a Fed. So, like, those people could not be more different. Ideologically, temperamentally, intellectually, whatever. So, yeah, these people get lumped in together because they're both critical of Israel for completely, radically different reasons. Daryl Cooper is critical of Israel, and it's not even his primary concern, but he's critical of Israel because the Israeli government are responsible for some horrific atrocities. And he's intellectually curious as to how and why that's happening. Because, let's frame it this way. It is, in fact, fascinating. The question of how a nation-state that was founded in reaction to the Holocaust can go on an ethnic cleansing campaign 2 generations later. 3 generations later? I don't know. Whatever it might be. That is fascinating. That's a really fascinating kind of development, if you will. And look, if you don't want to call it an ethnic cleansing campaign, you can argue against that point, maybe, fine. But like, if you listen to what they say, they very clearly want the Palestinians out. That is to say, the Arabs out of Palestine. Whether you want them to leave or whether they want them to be wiped out. They want them to leave. That is, on paper, an ethnic cleansing campaign. And it's essentially what Germany wanted to do with the Jews in the early 30s. They wanted them out. Right? Before the final solution, yada, yada, yada. That's what they wanted to happen. Now, will the Israel-Palestine conflict escalate into a kind of Arab Holocaust? Probably not. Just because of the political and numerical factors involved, I don't see it happening, unless America gets way too involved and starts doing some horrible, nasty things to a lot of people. It's a possibility. Unlikely as it might be, but it's a possibility. But yeah, for people who chant never again so much, justifiably, they do some nasty, oddly familiar things. Anyway, yeah, it's Kevin says, I don't even listen to Fuentes until he attacked Trent and Laura Horn. I didn't listen to what he said either. I ignored that particular drama because I think it was stupid. Because why would he do that? Like, look, I don't think it's possible to simp for your wife. Okay, that's man loves his wife. Story at 11. Why is it surprised?
Christ, that got around fast. You know Tibor?
What I heard was that some Gajo brutes wrongly imprisoned Tibor, nearly chopped off his hands, head, and no doubt his balls, too. Mistress,
Probably.
you stood up for him and fucked up those sons of whores.
Imsimp doesn't know who Fuentes is? That's probably for the best. He's a right-wing influencer who is an FBI asset.
Guilty as charged. But I did it mostly for Marika. She deserves to be happy.
Goda Chacho, you helped our people and that is a worthy thing. And you know what, Gajo? I will make it up to you however I can. Balikerav, Gajo.
If you have anything of interest to sell, I'll buy it.
Chacho, and for you, Gajo, I'll let it go for next to nothing. A token of gratitude to let you know that us Roma never forget. Avar de Dik.
Whatever he's saying. Alright, arrows. I kind of want to get a nice chaperone. It's not as nice as my current hat, which is a shame because I like chaperones. I really like the look of them. They're like a Western turban. Is he Romani? Yeah. The whole like nomads are Romani. They're gypsies. Kaftan. Coat. Whoa, nicer charisma than my current coat. Dang. Another kaftan. Oh. I don't like the pattern though, compared to my basic one. Ooh, Lavarian horseshoe. Those might be better than what I have. I'll buy them. We'll see.
I'm glad you found...
Designed by Romani blacksmith called Ferrari. Rider can expect a generous increase in his horse's speed. Better speed and grip. All right, yeah, let's go with them. Why not? They're lower price. I don't know, man. Whatever.
What you were looking for, sir.
I did actually not... so, Byzantines in the Middle Ages called themselves Romani? I didn't realize that, if true. Interesting. Oh, well, okay, no, that actually does make sense. Because they were Roman, and it was the name Romani, meaning referring to Rome, rather than referring to Romania, which Romani, in terms of the Roma, or the gypsies, refers to Romania, basically, not to Rome. The Byzantines referred to them as Romani insofar as they meant Roman. Romani comes from Romania, which is what most people, where a lot of them came from and where everyone kind of assumed they came from, basically.
Quick!
Let's go. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's also switch our outfit. That's better. That looks like a great place to fall off the road. Just saying. No? Okay, I guess not. Moving on. Huh, that just means people. Most people's name, the names of most peoples just means people. At least a lot of them do. Some people name themselves after their geographical region or location, but a lot of people just name themselves us, or people. Whatever.
This horse must have cost a pretty...
I'm looking for the Takoff blacksmith's cart. Have you seen it?
Loads of carts come past here. There's going to be a wedding and they need supplies. Try asking Captain Gnarly. He keeps an eye on supplies. He'll probably be in the courtyard.
What a name.
Thanks.
And watch yourself when you go into the courtyard.
Why?
We've got some wedding guests from Moravia. They're in pretty high spirits. It's still a while to the wedding, but them gents is already getting into the swing of things.
All right, let's
So I
see.
says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey! You alright there, laddie?
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as red as a cardinal's hat.
Are they actually from Scotland?
Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me?
Do I look like a serpent?
Oh, I know. Old Samine is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh. I didn't give a fuck what you pray. You speak our language, do you not?
Well, Yarko, seems to me this fella doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
The old man's
Are you?
hired hands are lacking in manners.
Please punch me in the helmet. Please punch me directly in the helmet. I want to see how that happens.
I'll get you.
Just kill him. Listen, one punch like that with a steel gauntlet, you're down for the count, man.
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things. Grandad? Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the flood.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad, hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
What about that wine?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The Takoff blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yurko. Young Samin's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
Okay, so Moravia, they're not from Scotland. Okay, they
We'll
just,
be
they just
needing
have the
a
accent
dozen
because
geese.
they're annoying.
And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yetchin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone. What we bought only last week.
Rings over gloves is an interesting look.
Enter!
And yes,
Sorry to
Imsip,
intrude,
I've always
sir.
also been kind of unsettled by
Henry
the whole La
Blacksmith,
Raza
Radovan's
thing.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
That's,
Not another
That is
word!
just vague enough to work.
Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
Well, it's not that far.
I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but it's my job to find them.
It took me 5 minutes to get here.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no
so...
need to imagine the worst right off, Gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
I like him.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yuriko is shit-faced, and your son...
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
I have a very nice
Thank you,
horse.
sir.
Her name is Pebbles. By the way, I did get the perk that makes Pebbles
So,
the best
lad,
horse in the game.
You going with us? I hope you're happy about it.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No. That's not how I meant it.
Take it easy, son. I'm only yanking your pizzle.
Ah, he said the thing.
Do you know what to do? Or have you got any more questions?
Yeah.
Actually, there is something I'd like to ask about.
Let's see.
This Yurko and his mates, who are they?
They're Lord Samin's kin. They're fine as long as they don't get too much booze inside them.
He tried to punch me in
They're
the
from
helmet.
Moravia, so they're never far from the booze.
But what can I tell you, lad? Each to himself. Besides, they stick with the family when push comes to shove. And you can't say that about everyone.
How drunk do you have to get to try and punch someone in a great helmet? Like, someone who's just... Okay. First of all, there's the issue of your fist coming into contact with steel. That's one big issue. But then further, someone dressed like that. And you just decide, look at this guy. I need to throw hands. Like, how drunk do you need to be to fight somebody like this? Really? I don't think he's going to be okay. I'm not sure he's going to make it. But anyway, let's see.
I'd like to go and see that wedding.
Wouldn't we all, lad? And what would you do there?
Well, I heard Lord von Burghoff will be at the wedding, and I need to speak with him.
Son, I don't know if you're serious or yanking my pizzle. Anyways,
again.
you're Radovan's hand, ain't you? He'll be coming to the wedding. He's making a wedding gift for the groom. Stick with him, and maybe he'll take you with him.
All right.
We should probably get going.
My thoughts exactly. Off to the courtyard, then.
All right. Let's, Why am I being chased? Who's fighting me?
Hey, fucker! You don't fight with guards, you fool! You
Calm down! I surrender!
Okay, that was weird. Moving on. Oh, it's because I got in a fist fight, isn't it? NPC bravery is always maxed. No, it's really not. I actually think that's a really cool thing in this game, is that enemies are
I'm sorry.
are not very likely, but they're the likelihood of enemies to surrender to you is based on your intimidation stat, which mine is reasonably high. In this kind of outfit, like, yeah, my intimidation stat is reasonably high. Actually, no, it's not reasonably high. It's extremely high. Maximum is 30. It's not as good as my impression. My high bearingness. But yeah, it's yeah. Very often while I'm fighting bandits, they'll surrender. It's actually rather common. If they have a chance to, if I don't stab them in the face first. It's actually something that I really enjoy about this game, is that, no, idiot bandits will not fight you to the last breath every time. Cam? Oh. Oh, Jan. There you are.
I'm ready to set out, sir.
All right. Stay close to us and don't go wandering off.
That is a hell of a dent in the breastplate.
As you say, sir.
Did you see that? It's like he took a warhammer to his kidney.
Where will we start searching, sir?
If they drove out of Tarkov and headed towards us, they had to pass through Troskovitz.
Right, sir. You keep up with us, son. Troskovitz ain't far, but it seems there's fellas vanishing on the way.
Very good, Captain.
What do you think about it, Captain?
I know you told me not to jump to any conclusions, sir, but I can't help myself. Someone's running rampant around here, sir.
I know who's running rampant. Yurko in the cellar. We're out of wine again. I knew this wedding wouldn't be cheap, but I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the bailiff, the bride's father, you'd get more blood out of a stone than coin out of him. And then he behaves like I shit golden eggs just because I'm a noble. Even though he's got more coin than me.
Such are the times, sir. But that Yurko, he's going too far.
You know how those Moravians are. It's in his blood.
Also, speaking of, Henry is
But
not.
they're getting too
Henry's
much
also
down.
a guest.
Him and his cronies. They started on young Henry.
A stranger.
As soon as he set foot on the courtyard.
That is.
Is that true, Henry?
It was nothing.
It was wildly
a friendly
inappropriate.
brawl. They clearly had it painful. I can understand it.
Well, I've sure as hell got no understanding for it. I hope they didn't hurt you.
They're incapable of doing so, don't worry.
Gave Yurko a nice hammering.
They're fully
Well, that's
incapable
no
of doing
surprise.
so.
The fella can hardly stand upright most of the time.
You'd have to get up early to catch them sober. But they wasn't that drunk as to give Henry an easy fight.
Look here, lad. If you're such a champion, I'm sure you'd accept the challenge of an old man like myself.
It would be an honor, sir.
Excellent. Not afraid, eh? That's what I like to see. There's an abandoned pen along the path a bit. We'll stop off there and see what
Ooh.
you're made of.
Ooh.
Right, sir.
Yeah, I
Excuse
love
me.
the
I'll explain some things to the
design
youngster
of the
here
countryside.
first.
Like the environmental
Wouldn't
design in
want
this
no
game is so
accidents
good. Yeah,
happening.
absolutely, Kevin. It's so this game is much hillier than the previous one, so sight lines are much shorter. But also, I'll note this, which by the way, this is a big map. This map is probably, I don't know, probably a little over half the size of the previous game. This is one of two major areas, and this is the smaller one. Really cool. We haven't even gotten to the Kuttenberg region yet. Imsip asked, what are my thoughts as women on working as police officers? Generally a bad idea. But I'll continue reading. I'm writing a Catholic-esque story video game conceit with dual protagonists. Husband and wife. Husband is an archaeologist. Okay. Okay. Good. I mean, it's hard to beat archaeologist as the husband's job. That's it's very bluey. Wait, is Bandit a paleontologist or an archaeologist?
Keep your eyes on the road, you fool!
No.
Watch where you're going!
So, we're here. Gnarly, tell the youngster here what's what.
Okay. What are we doing? Are we dueling? Oh. Okay.
All right, son. You're going to fight Lord Sameen. It'll be an honorable fight, so you better act accordingly. Hold on a mo. I'll give you some gear for it.
That won't be necessary. I've got all I need.
Well, all right. But it never hurts to have something in reserve. You can have my cudgel. It might be just a stick, but it's my stick, so careful with it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks, and get your arse into the pen.
So, young'un, are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
Fuck that!
Hold on. I will go through this in a moment. I just want to go through the get through this fight. It's cudgeling. Knocked in the noggin. Ow! Okay, cool.
Come here, son.
I did pretty well with that.
This should stop it.
Alright, hold on. I got a cudgel, yay! Did he actually give me gear? Gear? No. Okay, just the cudgel. Okay, so Imsim says, basically there's a cult in the small Pennsylvania town that owns many important positions, such as the local university and the town hall. The university sends a husband on an expedition to the Holy Land. There's a rare opportunity to excavate under the Temple Mount, finds evidence of the for worship of Moloch. Cult worships Moloch, needs it to bring him to our world. They transform most of the town people into possessed zombie-esque creatures similar to Deadites from the Evil Dead franchise. Oh, okay. The couple also have 2 kids who get wrapped up in the horror. They want to save them. The husband also has a military background. Imagine her being a cop, but still a girly or a loving mother and wife. I don't want any tension between them. Instead, I want them to be seen as a power couple trying to save their kids in the town. Could be. Yeah, it could work. I mean, in fiction, it can work much better. There Henry, is, of course, the physicality problem for women as police. But
you really gave me the runaround.
I'm no spring chicken, but I'm as spry as ever.
God's truth,
kind
sir.
of bleeding a lot.
You didn't disgrace yourself, but I can see the young un has spirit. Anyways, you can keep that old junk, Henry. Even my cudgel. But take care of the old fella. He might be just a piece of wood, but he saved my arse more than once.
I will, Captain.
And since you won, I've got something else for you as well. My shield.
Oh, this is supposed
Isn't
to
that
equip
a bit
you.
too much now?
This quest is supposed to
Sir,
be early.
my
I
left
forgot.
shoulder's fucked anyway. I can't carry no shield.
True enough.
Thank you.
I mean, okay, yes. God created man and cult made them equal. Sure, fine, fair. I'll grant you that. But also, there is the issue of how do I put this? Female police officers have on average, a much higher incidence of discharging their service firearms, and not always intentionally. I would say primarily, I suppose, because of the comparatively increased danger to themselves.
Handy, youngster. You should come to the courtyard, and Gnarly here will give you a good education in the art of the sword.
Nice.
I call it the art of not getting skewered as soon as you step foot outside the village. But do come, Henry. We've got a nice arena in Samid. It ain't no abandoned pig pen.
You can't always choose your battleground, Gnarly. Whether it's a pig pen or an arena in Karlstein, it's the performance that counts. And while we're on the subject, where are you from, lad? It's clear you're not from Trotsky.
I'm from Silver Skalitz, sir.
Aha! Now I understand why you're here. You're not the first one to flee here from the war.
I don't flee from a fight, sir. I have work here, and a lot of scores to settle.
You want to get revenge for what happened back home? That usually doesn't end well. You'd be better advised to find yourself a well-built girl, build a cottage, and visit the church and the tavern in turn. There's no helping the dead anyway.
That's nice advice, sir. Only women will tie you down, lad. Better to go and see a bit of the world. You're doing the right thing.
Doing a little of both, actually. Henry's got a girl back home. Oh, look, there's a hanged man. I never saw that. Is that newly there? Or did I just never pay attention? Okay, yeah, like a Ripley, Sarah Connor-like character. Both being motherly. Deleted scenes, you see Sarah still in love with Kyle Reese despite her death. Yeah, despite his death. Yeah, I like that. That can work.
Christ, watch where you're riding, arsehole! Is this your first time riding a horse, you moron?
Say that to the company of a noble? Okay. Whatever. Seems unwise.
So, we're in Troskowitz. What now, sir? Should I go to the bailiff and ask if he might have seen someone?
Well, that makes sense. But the young fella here should do it. If the bailiff sees you, he'll guess I'm in the village and come and bother me. And I'm really not in the mood today for any bombardment of complaints.
I understand, sir. All right, Henry. Run along to Rat House and inquire about that wagon.
And Henry, not a word about me. Are we clear?
About who? Since you're not here, how could I speak of you?
That's what I like to hear. Now run along.
Once again, I had forgotten that this is supposed to be an early game quest.
Master Bailiff, can I ask you about something?
Ask away, by all means. Wait now, aren't you that lad who's helping Radovan in the forge?
Yeah, that's me.
I heard his hired hands went missing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here.
Ah, I was thinking they were driving awful fast with that cart.
You saw them?
I did, a few days back. They raced through the village in the early evening so fast, they were dropping sacks of charcoal.
Where were they headed?
Drunk driving, then, I
Towards
see.
the east, to Apollonia on the road to Yichin. And you're looking for them?
I am indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. I heard there were goods for Semin on that cart, and I can do without that kind of trouble now, on account of the wedding, you know?
Kevin says, women are much better at range as snipers, and in the station dealing with compiling and analyzing information and processing evidence. That is true. That is I'll give you that. The organizational strengths, again, on average, are certainly there. So yeah, I'll grant you that. That's a good idea. She might fit as a detective. It would be maybe difficult to get to that rank, but in the story it might work if she's a police detective rather than a beat cop.
It seems you have a lot of concerns with that wedding, Master Bailiff.
Of course I do. I'm the father of the bride, after all. Although not everyone sees eye to eye with me. Lord Semin would be happier if I paid all the bills and left all the decisions up to him. Who's invited, what there'll be to eat and drink, entertainment, everything. It's not like I have a burning desire to deal with it, but if I'm going to pay for it...
I understand. But isn't it just that the Grooms family is more concerned about these things?
That's not it. I'll tell you what it is. It's because Lord Semin is a noble and I'm just a commoner. Only I've got coin. While he's trying to keep the wolf from the door in that piddling estate of his.
I mean, I'm not going to defend him. He's got a point. That is a fascinating part about this time period that came and went in waves throughout Europe, is that very often you'll find that nobles, that there were commoners who were far more wealthy than nobles, but they didn't have the status of nobility. Imsim says, I heard in Star Wars Outlaws, I heard they purposely made the protagonist uglier than the actress that portrays her. I don't know if it was. I don't know if there's ever been any confirmation that they did it purposefully, but look at her. Like, look at the model for Kay Vess, the protagonist, and then look at the face model that she's based off of. Even when she's doing mocap, it's night and day. It is night and day. It's part of that recent trend in, unfortunately, a lot of AAA gaming studios to sort of uglify female characters. And part of it is the whole avoiding the male gaze thing. And I have to think that part of it is a kind of female power dynamic, where you've got... Should I be delicate about this? I'll try and be delicate about this. You have less attractive women developers who don't want... who see more attractive characters, and especially protagonists, as outshining them, as an object of jealousy, rather than, or maybe even envy, rather than as aspirational, like, men tend to, right? I see Henry in his, brilliant armor, and I say, man, I need to work out, right? Whereas at least stereotypically, this isn't actually always the case. There's been some studies that I've seen about this that says to the contrary, but at least stereotypically, and at least sort of typically, women see an attractive character and react with a lot of times will react with a kind of envy or jealousy. Now, I have seen studies that do sort of purport the opposite, that say that women will prefer sexualized female characters over non-sexualized female characters, so long as they are also in power. Right, so long as they're also a kind of empowerment fantasy, which is kind of the same thing you get with men. So there you go. I'm fine with the Henry shirtless scenes because dude's jacked, man. That's cool. I want to be that, right? But it's not like, I want it. It's not like it's the sexualization that I admire. It's the kind of it's the aspirational aspect of it. And I think that, yeah, there is an aspect of that female gamers can get into as well. Even though, again, it's discounted in a lot of literature, I think I have seen some studies that show that is the case. Hi, Grace. Welcome. I will say, maybe this is an odd thing to say, but I think that in a lot of cases, it also can be, at least in Hollywood, a kind of response to Me Too, right? And a kind of response to the crackdown on the likes of Harvey Weinstein, where hiring attractive actresses can seem like a kind of philandering, if you will. And so there's a reasonable fear of not wanting to hire actresses based on their attractiveness, which has sort of skewed things in the other direction. Right. And you know what? I think it'll even out. Honestly, I do think that we'll wind up course correcting on it. I don't think that these trends are going to be long term and big. And I don't want to say that, well, I've seen people say things like, wow, it almost makes you miss the days of Harvey Weinstein. And I'm just like, no. No, because there was a time before Harvey Weinstein when, actors and actresses were beautiful. And they didn't need the casting couch, so to speak, for it. So, yeah. Ooh. Grace is modeling a charity fashion show on May 2nd. Cool. Very cool. And just did makeup confirmation today. Very cool. Or tone confirmation, sorry. Very cool. Awesome.
You're right, Master Bailiff. Don't worry, though. People will find out you spared no expense for your daughter's wedding.
Let's hope. More like that old miser will go around saying the opposite and put me to shame.
I mean, he kind
I
of
don't
has
think
been,
Lord
whatever.
Semin would do that.
Imsim says they can take average-looking women and make them quote hot with makeup or make them look normal. I've seen Scarlett Johansson play a mom/wife with little to no makeup and look normal, and also look hot in Avengers movies. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's Hollywood, baby, right? They say you can do miracles with costuming, with makeup, with lighting, with how things are shot, but you have to put effort into that, right? And maybe it's easier to just get the actor, get the actress that you want for the role, and just kind of shoot things flat and do enough makeup to make people look vaguely human, and fine. I don't know. I get the feeling that and fix it in post, whatever. I do get the feeling that that Hollywood is getting kind of lazy in their in-camera production lately. But what do I know? I'm no expert on the matter, so I can't say for sure. Now's a good time to mention this, because Kevin, I haven't bothered you about this. You'll notice in the description down there is a link to nuts.com. That is my, not affiliate link, I'm not actually sponsored, but that is my reference link. I'm going to grab my cat, because she's on the box. Here she is. Anyway, check that out. If you're in the market for yummy snacks, I have right now, I'll close the box back up so Angel can, get out from in front of the camera and go lay back on top of it. I got these. These are, I don't have too many left, but these are delightful. They are white chocolate covered cherries. They're really good. Anyway, yeah, if you're in the market for yummy snacks of all sorts, check it out. That little link will get you a discount on shipping, and it'll get me store credit, so I can buy more of these, and especially buy more mochi, because Erica has the 5-pound bag of mochi in the other room. Delish. Anyway, we're checking out.
Do you know anything about Radovan's hired hands?
Only what I've told you. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind if they never turned up again.
Why's that?
Well, they might look like butter wouldn't melt in their mouths, and Radovan praises them, but I know people. That pair have mischief in their
What does
eyes.
that mean?
I can tell.
Okay. Yummy is sounds weird for an adult to say. I have small children. That's all I need to say about the matter.
That'll be all. Thanks.
All right. Game saved. Seems morning. Grace says, on that point, I don't feel like actresses or actors need so much to be unattainably attractive per se, but I think the issue with casting couch was used as leverage against the attractive ones. Yeah, I can see that. I can certainly see that. And yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, cool knife tossing. I can see that being an issue. Then again, I think you're right that how do I put this? Actors and actresses don't need to be, unbelievably attractive to be good actors and good actresses. That said, I do think that there is it fits with the kind of body positivity trend towards referring to normal bodies as specifically unattractive and especially overweight. I think that's kind of an issue. I'm gonna have some honey while we're standing here because I'm a bit hungry. Oh, no, I'm not yet. Still need to lose two nutrition. I need to get a little hungrier. Kevin says he was more attractive in the Weinstein era, but now I'm aging. Yeah. I mean, okay, that does happen. My beard has gotten longer, so there's that, as you noticed. Oh, Angel went back onto the box. Him's upset. I always like the way my dad says delicious in his heavy Mexican accent. Oh, I can't do that. He tries to mimic a family friend when he says delicious, and it sounds like he's saying delition. Delition. I'm also weird that I'm attracted to pretty average-looking women and find overdone makeup, long fake nails unattractive. That's, I think, honestly kind of standard. Overdone makeup is it's not for men. It's for other women. It's being flashy to impress and to compare with other women. Really.
Well then,
Delicious.
young man.
Something like that.
How did it go?
I will say, the Mexican accent, because I used to be fluent in Spanish, but the Mexican accent is one of the ones I've had the most trouble understanding and conversing with. I don't know why. Partially because I learned formal Castilian Spanish, Castellano, but I don't know. I don't know what it is about any species of Mexican accent I've had probably the most trouble with. No, Imsep, I did not used to be Mexican, believe it or not. Now, you might believe I used to be Argentinian, so to speak, if by that you mean, of German ancestry, but I'm not. Also not. And yes, I think, Grace, you're absolutely right. Aging people can be attractive in a way, not in the way the younger ones get lusted after, but in a way of more elegance and class. That is true. And then also, oh gosh, what was it? I saw a thing about this. Maybe it was just a meme or somebody saying something about it that I'd butcher it. I'm not going to say it, but I'm not going to try and quote something I do not remember clearly. But it is absolutely true. I do think that that age can confer maybe a different kind of beauty, but beauty nonetheless. Me llamo Vicente Macoige. No.
They were spotted here, sir. Going to the east, towards Apollonia.
So the Yichin? The bastards. And what about my goods?
Oh, they were driving so fast, it was falling off the cart.
The thieving scum. Let's hurry. To Yichin.
Sir, I can send a message to the Itchin captain of the guard.
Oh, it'll take too long. We'll go and get them ourselves.
Where's
Would you be missing preparations for the wedding at home, sir?
I will. Praise the Lord Jesus Christ. If I have to choose between riding to Yitchin and listening to Dorothy's endless passing, I'll take Yitchin any time. Besides, there's a nice inn along the way, the Three Cats. We can spend the night there.
I remember that place, but I'm not sure, sir, if they'll let the two of us set foot inside the door.
Are you going outside the map?
Oh, gnarly, that was 15 summers ago. God knows if the place is even still standing.
True. Still, we'd better keep our eyes peeled. They might not have gone to Yitchin. They could have turned off somewhere.
I was referred to as Vicente in Spanish class. So we all basically just translated our names. Used that throughout high school. So that was Vicente.
More likely we'll find them boozing at the Three Cats.
That'd surely be the best outcome, if that old dive is still standing. Let's go then.
Maybe we should go faster. We are sort of cantering along for some reason. Are we even cantering? Is this even a canter? What inn are they talking about? Not the cemetery, certainly. Or we could just be leaving the map. That is entirely possible that we're just leaving the map. Strikes me somewhat unlikely, though. We'll see. Anyway, yeah. The other thing, like, so we were talking earlier about the debate between Dave Smith and Douglas Murray. Man, Douglas Murray lost that debate really hard.
Saint Anthony, which way now?
While you're praying to the patron saint of lost things, go and have a look along the road, Gnarly. And you, Henry, have a look to the left.
All right, sir.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
forget, my eyesight ain't what it used to be.
Well, that's what we have the youngster for, isn't it? Off you go.
Off on an adventure with the old man. There is a cart here. Is this it? No, maybe not. All right. Anyway, it was... It was not that that Dave won or did definitively really, really well. It's that Douglas Murray just did really poorly.
A sack of
repeatedly.
charcoal. That could have fallen off the cart.
Yeah, probably. He did a bunch of just gratuitously embarrassing things. Like he started off for like 45 minutes, basically trying to re-cancel Joe Rogan because he keeps having people on who are critical of Israel. I'm just like, what are you doing? He was criticizing Joe Rogan for platforming people like Dave Smith. What do you... And this is, keep in mind, Douglas Murray was one of the chief critics of wokeism. And he spends 45 minutes trying to say, hey, what are you doing platforming all these anti-Israel people? You should have a more balanced approach. You should listen to more experts. You mean like the experts who were saying that Joe Rogan was taking horse paste? Those guys? Those
Found
experts?
anything, lad?
There's a sack of charcoal lying in the ditch to the left of the road. The bailiff said they were driving like the devil, so maybe it fell from the cart.
Oh, that makes sense. To the left it is, then. Gnarly! Back here!
What was the other bit? That there were a bunch of things that I just found just utterly bizarre. And that honestly, he was just
You'll have the car back in no time.
I just hope we find the
so
horses,
many
too.
of Douglas Murray's
That milker
arguments
here
were
ain't
just
the
straight
youngest, and I
wokeism.
wouldn't want to drag it back home myself.
A nobleman in harness. We ain't ever had such a spectacle in these parts.
You might get to see it soon enough. The lords in this country have all gone to the dogs. Every lowborn with a bit of coin builds a house in Kuttenberg while we live in squalor. Why do you reckon that is, lad?
That's a tough question, sir. But nothing happens on God's green earth without his will. If that's the way God wants it, there's nothing you can do.
None of this would be happening if we had a king. And I mean a real one. Not Wenceslas or Sigismund. Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand, all sorts of things go wrong.
Especially when you've got Moravian relatives eating you out of house and home.
Yeah. Kevin, good point. That a lot of victories are due to being less terrible than my interlocutors. Yeah. Yeah, and that's honestly one of the points that Dave Smith makes all the time. It's not that he's such a spectacular debater or anything. It's just that his ideas are right. Like, being a Rothbardian libertarian, he has the advantage of being correct most of the time.
I don't see any cart tracks. What do you reckon, Gnarly?
I'm blind as a mole, sir.
Real lucky.
But it's all peculiar, right enough. Where the hell could that cart have vanished?
Did you miss the
That's
cart
just
tracks
it.
that swerved off to the
They
left?
had nowhere to turn off.
I'll look up the road a bit. And you, Henry, have a look back along the road. Maybe it fell in a ditch somewhere. Who knows?
Very well, sir.
There were cart tracks that fell off, that swerved off the road to the left just a bit ago. Did we not see those? Like this right here? That is a ditch. I don't want to jump down there. I will fall, and it will hurt my... It'll give me terrible little boo-boos. Was it there? Yeah, here's cart tracks. Yeah, here's where it's worked. Yeah, okay. Apples. Aha!
The blacksmith's cart. And someone went to a hell of a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Hey! I found the blacksmith's cart! Come here!
But I was... Oh, wait, hold on. I want to show you something. This I found to be absolutely hilarious. Let me throw this up here, because I made a joke on Twitter some time ago, making fun of... here it is. Making fun of partially Joe Jorgensen, but also making fun of a lot of the sort of the what I would call wokeists on the right, people who make these woke arguments in defense of Israel. But here it is. This is a short little clip. Let's see if I can put it.
It is not enough for individuals or
No,
institutions to merely claim they are not anti-Semitic. As my father once taught me, it is not enough for people, especially public figures, to be neutral or not be anti-Semitic. One must be anti-Semitic.
Okay, cool. So we must be actively anti-Semitic. Okay, great. That should really be super familiar, because that's exactly the same wording that Libertarian Party candidate Jo Jorgensen got a whole bunch of crap for. When she said that it is not enough to be passively not racist, we must be actively anti-racist. And I had been making a bunch of jokes on Twitter for the last 2 months that my exact words were, it is not enough to be passively not anti-Semitic. We must be actively Jewish. Which I was just basically just making fun of all of these rabid Israel defenders on the right. People like Douglas Murray, but not exclusively. But I didn't expect a rabbi to say almost those exact words in congressional testimony within a month or two later. That clip came from, like I said, a congressional testimony from last week.
Apollonia. I spent a lot of time running around
But
here as a young lad.
how is that any different from wokeism?
Gave me the shivers. God's truth, I ain't got only good memories of it. One time, got my legs stuck in a crevice a bit further on. Trapped there all night I was, shitting myself with fear. It wasn't till morning that the folk from the fortress found me. The whole of Sameen was out looking for me.
See, at least you came here as a kid. It still gives me the creeps here.
Why is that, sir? It's just some rocks, ain't it?
You'd
It's a
sing
lot of
different
rocks.
Tune if you'd had the rope maker's wife as a nanny when you were little. Now she had some tales about this place. Headless horsemen, goblins and white ladies. Every night we'd gather by the hearth. The old woman would sit at her spinning
Oh,
wheel.
not white ladies. Imsimp, watch out.
Captain, there isn't much I'm afraid of. But when that
I hear
blind
voices.
old crone was croaking her tales of devils and holes to hell, with the fire crackling and the wind whistling outside the windows, and the whirring of the spinning wheel.
Listen.
Yeah, I hear it.
There's somebody there, sure enough.
Let's get closer.
to tell a story for amusement, not listen to your supposedly educated claptrap. Have you forgotten? I was ordained.
What do we do now? I heard more than two voices.
I used to clamber around here as a young lad. The girls from Slatigo used to come make a fire here and jump over it, and so's their underwear wouldn't catch fire. Sometimes they'd take it off.
That's nice, Gnarly.
That's-
But I don't think it's scantily clad maidens we'll be running into here.
That doesn't seem like a
what's that
good
got
idea.
to do with anything?
Well, there's a nice view into the gorge from
Anyway.
up there. We only have to go back a bit, and we can get up there nicely.
Right. Henry, what are you waiting for? This is just the kind of thing we took you along for.
Pick up shiny pennies.
Sure, sir.
Picking up shiny pennies
better
means you're
luck,
not
there might
woke.
be some
Yeah, it
girls
does,
there,
it does
too.
mean you're.
I could do
I
without
guess that
girls
means you're
with
actively
voices like
Jewish.
that. Now get going.
Oh God. Yeah, that's, I'm gonna...
Stumble with a priest. Pigs can fly.
Definitely not gonna be monetized after that.
For a wing, he's got a miserable pair of tits on him. You don't say. You really
Those
saw
definitely
that?
aren't the blacksmith's hands.
I'm not kidding. Honza, tell him I'm not having him on. You saw it too.
True.
To
He
shoot
ain't
them?
yanking your pizzle. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. She had one different than the other.
All right. That ain't normal.
Can't I just shoot them?
Laughing at the wench. Why? Some people might like it. I don't know who'd like that.
I think they're talking about women with different breasts, or different, maybe different size breasts.
How's
I
it
don't know,
look,
whatever.
Sonny? How many?
I saw 3. And they don't look like Radovan's hands.
And what about my goods?
I didn't see them. It looked more like a patrol. I reckon there might be more of them hereabouts.
We can take them.
Seems we can't avoid a fight. I hope you're ready, Henry.
Sure am, sir.
I wouldn't worry about Henry, sir. He showed us mettle and training. So, how are we going to do it? Do you just want to charge them, sir?
What else do you suggest?
We ought to pounce on them while we have the moment of surprise.
The words of a real man. So get ready, and
I'm
we'll go
far
for
better
it.
with the sword than I am
Nice
with
and quick
with
before
a
the
crossbow.
bastards realize what's going on.
I'm trying to tell a story for amusement, not listen to your supposedly educated claptrap.
Supposedly. Have you forgotten? I was...
You swine!
Oops.
He's not listening again.
Hey, I need a hand here. How sorts will finish this quickly? Slice him up! There's more of them! Your blood! His hand!
Okay, taken care of. Let's loot first, shall we? Not much worth it. Ooh, door and chest keys, nice. Anything worth taking? Some more keys, a comb. Hold up as I'm looting, okay? Excuse me, guys. Sorry, gentlemen, I'm just... I want to loot their chest, okay? Walnuts? Nice. See, I got some stuff. It was worth it. Alright, anyway, sorry.
Stop dawdling!
Okay, fine.
Oh, this day took it out of me, and no mistake.
And it ain't over yet, sir. Your
One
goods
must be
ain't here.
actively Jewish.
None of them bastards look like the blacksmith's hands. All right, Henry.
Hard to say. I've never actually seen them. But I don't think it was them.
Me neither. But right past that peak is another good camping spot.
You think this was a patrol?
It makes sense. But I don't want to go assuming the worst. We might have just run into them bandits by chance.
Yeah, well, you were right, as always. Let's go, then. Are you ready, Henry?
Give me a moment.
Hurry up, lad.
There's no chest down here, sorry. Am I hungry? Yeah. I'm hungry. Gonna have some stew. Some bandit peppercash. Ooh. Why is a tin plate that valuable? No, not sleep! No, God, no! Stop! I don't want to lay down and sleep. Stop it! Mr. Snoozy.
Nice.
Sorry, guys. I did not mean to lay down. Just got distracted by a nice, comfy ground. Anything of use here? No. Okay, moving. All right, now let's move. Let's move on. All right, gnarly.
We can get going.
That's just grand. Let's go then.
I thought we had everything clear, Venza.
Venza is one of them.
Fuck with me. So until we ride out, you're gonna stick right there and keep your mouth shut.
We did everything you asked.
We got the blacksmith cart and the goods.
Horse shit. You tried to fuck me. That bastard cousin of yours owned up to it.
It was his idea. I wanted nothing to do with it.
Make no difference to me, Venser. You vouched for the crooked fucker. So now, it's on you.
Got a nice helmet.
Actually, you could consider yourself lucky. If you hadn't saved my ass that time in Colleen, I'd have goat ear skin you alive.
Bastards. You can't trust anyone in these parts. Get ready, Gnarly. We are going to parley.
Like that time with the Shani, sir?
Yes, exactly.
Only there was more of us that time, and less of them.
Oh, don't worry, there won't be a problem. They're just common thieves. Besides, I'll take young Henry with me.
What, me?
And if they're still feeling brave, you get to try out that new plaything of yours.
The crossbow. I assume that's what we're talking about. Yeah, there we go. Sounds like fun.
Ahem, gentlemen, I'm obliged to you for looking after my goods, but I'll take them back now. Just hand them over, and I'll let you go.
Oh, you must be from Samin, sir. Well, of course you can have everything back. Just as long as you ask nicely, eh? Well, how about we do things differently? You lay down your weapons, and we can all have a nice little chat. I mean, I don't intend to go murdering local lords. I just want your coin.
That's very noble of you, sir.
Ugh. Well, it's a fight now.
What are you gaping at? At them!
They got some nice swords. I mean, of course, they just basically stole a cart full of them. Let's fight.
At them, you whoreson!
Wait, what?
We'll kick your ass! At them! Got him!
He's dead.
What are those fancy moves, for fuck's sake?
Don't kill him. This one's mine.
They got what they deserve, the fuckers. Henry! Hey, Henry! Are you listening?
I'm a nobleman.
Come here!
You have to spare me.
What now?
One of them bastards fled into the rocks. Chase
He's
him
a
down and bring him
nobleman?
back.
Did you see which way he went?
No, I had other things on my hands. Besides, you're the one who's supposed to
okay.
keep watch.
Okay.
I'll go and track him then.
Great. Hurry.
Please, let me go. I just want to go home.
Search.
Can't. Okay. Anything worth taking? Not really. Ooh, never mind. That's nice.
Bailiff or not, his family's common as muck. And then there's the talk about money. They say you're hard up, sir.
You really do want to hang, don't you?
Ooh.
I'm
Nice.
just telling you what people are saying. Not easy for us nobles.
No, it's not.
At least there's something we agree
Anything
on.
worth taking?
Like I said,
You Russian.
see what will happen to you. And not another word now.
Bassinet? Sure. Toledo steel. Nice. I'll take it all. It's all good stuff. Okay, so. Ran off into the woods. Well, thankfully, I have a quest marker to tell me which way he went.
fucking everything! I've got you now, Venser. You've nowhere to run to.
I'm covered in blood. You
Yield.
really should yield.
Well, why the fuck would I? It's just you against me. Besides, if I do yield, it's the rope for me anyway.
One-on-one, yeah. But it must be clear to you that you're no match for me. Even if the noose is waiting for you, it's still a more pleasant death than getting your head smashed in with a rock. And believe me, I'll do it if there's no other way.
Sheesh,
Fuck.
okay.
All right, I'll come with you. But you'll put a word in for me.
I might. As long as you don't try anything.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Promise me.
I won't promise you anything. Now, come on. I've got a prisoner for you, sir.
Excellent. It all worked out quite well in the end.
Two, actually. Two
Gnarly
prisoners.
will take care of this scum.
What about Gules?
He caught a few good hits, but he's alive. We'll take him with us. I need to have a strong word with him. You did a good job, youngster. You've got heart. And so you don't say I had you clambering over these rocks for nothing. Here's something for you.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me. You
Petty
deserve
Russian,
it.
not bad. I'll take
And
it.
now, let's get that accursed cart
Maybe I
back
should
to
give
Samine.
him, like,
Want to ride?
10,000
We'll go
Russian.
via Troskovitz. We can drop you off there, and you won't have far to Tarkov. You ought to report back to Radovan as soon as possible about what happened with his hands.
What's going to happen with that pair?
You mean Radovan's hands? We'll see. The one that ran for it, it's clear with him. The other fellow was tied up, so who knows what went down. Maybe he was innocent. Gnarly'll have a word with him, and we'll see what he tells us.
Sir,
Okay.
Venser surrendered because I promised to put in a good word for him.
Well, it's nice that you promised him, but I'm the one who'll decide on the fate of that scum, and it's quite clear to me.
All right.
Fair enough.
Could you wait a while? I'd better just check that I haven't lost anything. Well,
All right, but I was happy to get out of Samine for a while, but now I'm looking forward to being back at my own fireside.
Okay. That's all good. Now, okay, none of the rest I need. None of this stuff. Anything else around here worth taking? I think I got basically everything, but I'll make sure. Frenzy. Now this looks to be everything. Ah, yes, welcome back, Imson. Okay, that's about it. Let's get out of here.
is that offer of a ride?
Sure.
A ride would be great. My legs are sore.
Wait until you're my age. Well, let's get going.
All right. Wait, to there?
I didn't do nothing wrong, I swear. It's all Venser's fault. It was him who said we'll sell the car to Gills.
It weren't like that at all. We shook on it. But on the way, you had the idea we'd keep it.
What? That ain't true.
Yeah, he is going to take me through, through Troskovitz. Well, I need to get to Tarkov, but that's fine.
Leave it out, you two. One way or another, you wanted to fuck me over. Doesn't matter whose idea it was.
So, you wanted to steal the cart for yourselves, but you still got caught?
I didn't want to steal anything. That was Venser.
It was your idea. What the fuck are you talking about, blaming Venser?
You really are prize idiots. If you hadn't gone round the rocks, you could easily have got away. But I've got a big heart, so I sent the lads to give you a hand.
I told Francie it wasn't a good idea to nick it.
Bollocks. As soon as you saw the lads, you gave the horses the whip. You were holding the reins, Venser.
You see?
While you were shouting rude insults. So you're both in it up to your necks, as far as I'm concerned.
Where are you taking us?
To Samine, where his lordship will hear you out and decide what to do with you.
I hope you realise you can't just execute me.
It depends. By right, I should send a plea to some court to decide if we can behead you. But in these shitty times, nobody will give a toss. parchment's dear, and ink ain't free either. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd happily risk it and lop your head off without permission.
I see how the law is respected here.
Ha! Are you yanking my pizzle? You're a fine one to talk about law.
And what will happen to us?
If Lord Semin's in a good mood, he'll try to find out whose idea it was.
It definitely wasn't mine.
You're such a rat, Frenzy.
On the other hand, when I hear you lot going on and on, I reckon he might not give a damn.
I'm innocent. I swear on my ma's soul.
Is that supposed to soften my heart? Ha! Every mangy I dragged to the gallows swore on his mother. Nobody with any decency would risk his mother's immortal soul, even if he was as pure as the driven snow. But this bastard doesn't think twice about his soul. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Captain's right. Only the lowest of the low swears on his mother.
That's right. You always were a piece of shit, Francie. No scruples.
Well, ain't it grand to have you here to explain everything? Now shut your gobs, the three of you. Don't want you poisoning the air with the shit you spout.
All right. Well, that's that. They're not going to say anything more, so let's get out of here. Not hungry yet. Hey, Pebbles. So Imseb, while he's waiting, asked me a question. So if there's a clone of you, what could they do or say to make you question whether or not you're the clone with imprinted memory? I don't think it could, really. I tend to be a relatively what a lot of philosophers would call a naive direct realist when it comes to epistemology. So I tend to, which that is to say, I'm essentially just an Aristotelian in terms of epistemology. So essentially, I would say that my memory is my memory of actual life is sufficiently clear, such that I don't have any serious reason to doubt. Even seeing a memory implanted clone would not, I don't think, give me sufficient reason to doubt the reliability of my memory otherwise. So no, I don't think that there really would be anything that would get me to doubt that radically. I'll repair Gnarly's shield, I suppose. Okay. Okay. Saint Antiochus die. Always rolls a 3. I don't think that's actually true, but okay. Hi, Skald. I am awake. I'll put the Saint Antiochus die away. As well as Gnarly's club and shield. Woo! Excuse me. Anything else in here I need to put away? I don't think so. It's net. No. Whoa! Excuse me again. All right. Half-light legs I can sell. Yeah, none of this I need to put away. Don't need the charcoal and cobwebs on me. This stuff I can eventually sell, but not yet. Anyway, moving on. Let's trade, because I have some things to sell first. As I said, I have a kettle hat, a bassinet, half-plate legs. Anything else you'll buy? These things. Sure.
Word about the...
Well...
Yeah, let's see how much I can get from you.
What would you...
You really...
Yeah.
Aye.
Excellent.
Glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
So, job done. The cart was found and driven to Lord Semin's courtyard.
Whew. That's a relief. And what happened to that pair of idiots?
It turned out they tried to rob you.
Oh. They did they?
Aye. They plotted with some robber baron called Gules and brought the cart to him.
See, this is actually a perfect application of the term robber baron. Because he literally
How did you get the cart back?
Well, I went to Semin, and they were wondering there too where the wagon got to. So we rode out to look for it. Me, Lord Semin, and his captain, Gnarly.
Well, God's nails. And the three of you tracked them down? The whole band?
That's right. They were hiding in Apollonia, along with the cart and the goods.
Indeed. Where else? The bastards. And what about my hands?
I'm not sure. Lord Semin took them and Gules to his courtyard. We'll see how he deals with them.
I'd know what to do with them.
Don't worry. I don't think Lord Semin will let them off lightly.
Anyway, the main thing is the cart turned up. I'd be in a right mess if it didn't.
No doubt.
And you've earned a reward for your trouble. I've got just the thing for you. Some mercenary once had his cuirass repaired here, but never came back for it. Who knows what happened to him?
I don't need it,
So
but
now
cool.
it's yours. It's been through a bit, but it'll still serve for a while.
Thanks. It'll come in handy. And have you got another job for me?
Young Lord Semin's
Rusted
wedding is coming up, and it's got my head spinning. Look, you must have seen Agnes, the bailiff's daughter, when you were in Truskovitz. What do you think of her?
Well, young Semin is marrying her, isn't he? Why would I have my eye on her?
Don't pretend. A statue of a saint would have his eye on her. Looks ain't everything, though. She's got such a sharp tongue on her. I almost feel sorry for young Semin. And how about you, lad? Have you got some lass waiting in Sasau?
Not in Sasau, but...
Yeah. And I hope she'll wait. Her name's Teresa. Her uncle owns a mill
I guess
on
it
the river
technically
in
isn't
Rattay.
Sasau.
A girl
Sasau is from
mill?
the region.
You want to watch out for them types. You might get caught up in devilry, lad. A wedding's a serious business. You're not just getting a bride, but a whole family. So you have to show them you're a man who's worth it. All the more so when you're noble born. Old Semin wants a special sword forged for his son's wedding present.
Excellent. So what are we waiting for? Should we get to work?
Hold your horses. It can't be any old steel. This has to be a first-class job.
We'll have
A
some
blade
nice
of
steel.
first-class steel.
That's right.
I have some
That's
Frankfurt
just the
steel, I have some
problem.
Toledo steel.
Ah, I see. We don't have any welded steel for that kind of sword, do we?
God's nails. You really know your stuff, youngster. And you're right. We don't have the steel for a strong sword that won't break.
I'd like to know where you're going to get your hands on some welded steel.
Relax, lad. I've got it all figured out, as it happens. There's this old hermit called Ambrose, living in Apollonia.
I don't know if
And he can
Damascus
pray
is a
for
thing
us.
in here.
God's nails, let me finish talking.
In the game.
Word is, he
but
was
Damascus
fighting
steel,
heathens years
essentially,
ago
what
in
we
faraway
usually mean by
Andalusia.
Damascus steel is
And
just welded
folks
steel.
say
It's pattern welded.
They saw
So
this
that's what
interesting
he's talking about.
broken sword in his hut. From the description, it seems our peculiar hermit has a real Toledo blade.
Welded Spanish steel? There's nothing better for a sword.
I do
See
have
now?
Toledo steel, but
You
whatever.
do understand. But there's a catch.
Naturally.
They say that Ambrose the Hermit has changed a lot recently. People from far and wide used to go to him for remedies and blessings. But now he won't see no one. I even heard he made a pact with the devil. And there have been other strange goings-on.
With the devil? Why would the hermit make a pact with the devil?
No idea. It might just be old wives' tales.
What strange goings on?
I heard something in the tavern about some apparition, but that's all I know.
Now that said, so talking about what we call Damascus steel, which is essentially just pattern welded steel, which is what we're talking about. But there also is the not ancient, but pre-modern legendary Damascus steel forged in Damascus, which is supposed to have higher, mythically higher quality. But I think typically, wasn't that later? Wasn't the legend of Damascus steel from like the 16th, 17th centuries? I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I thought that was a little later. I'm looking around and thinking about it. I don't think I actually have any pattern welded blades around here. No, I don't. I've had a couple of knives that are, but not right here at my desk.
Where can I find the hermit?
Do I look like someone who goes to a hermit for advice? I know he has a hut somewhere in
St. Cattery, St. Cattery I've heard of, but I'm not too familiar.
Right.
I'll
try to find out more about the hermit's sword. In return, you'll get me invited to Samin's wedding.
It means so much to you. Why not? Come and see Betty from the Troskovitz Tavern. She knows all the gossip. She'll definitely tell you more about the hermit. But Henry, if there's any truth in that pact with the devil, don't get caught up in it. The best sword in the world isn't worth eternal damnation.
Amen. The jaunt completed. That was a side quest? What you... Hey. Easy there, Muddy Mutt.
Here you go. Take it.
Yum-yums. Can you get
Oh,
pets? Who's a
come
good
here.
boy? Okay, I need to find out more about the hermit. From, Troskovitz. Troskovitz. Of course it's Troskovitz. Am I hungry? No. It times it. I can make it to Troskovitz just fine. So, talking about St. Cattery, she was a native woman who converted, found her own order of nuns. She even got 2 other native women. They took vows of virginity. Sadly, the French missionaries of the 1600s said nope. Yeah, that does happen. Good night, Kevin. Blessed Holy Week to you as well. And happy Easter if I don't hear from you. I'm not sure, by the way, if I'm going to be streaming Thursday. It is Holy Thursday, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to Mass anyway, so I might just be here anyway. So I'm not sure. We will see whether I'm going to be streaming. If I am, we are going to be probably finishing Jedi Outcast. So we'll see. We'll see what my schedule looks like then.
This going to be a
Hey, Betty.
Greetings. Do you need something?
I need some advice.
You want some advice? Here's some for free. I catch you fighting here again, and I'll spank your bare ass like a brat. Down to business.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
don't have all day for you. So what do you want?
I promised Radovan the blacksmith I'd go and see Ambrose the hermit in Apollonia.
My God, lad, stay away from them rocks. Ambrose the hermit sold his soul to the devil and won't talk to nobody no more.
Yeah, I heard that as well. But it seems a bit far-fetched.
It does.
So why would an evil spirit suddenly start appearing near Apollonia? It's the devil's work, believe you me.
And has anyone sent to the castle for the priest?
Not at all. Bailiff Thrush is keeping it quiet so far. 4
Okay.
strangers came here yesterday. They sat in the corner there, but once they heard about the apparition, they started to take a big interest.
What strangers?
They looked like monks, only they had daggers concealed under their robes. I saw them clearly. I'm telling you, there's something fishy going on around Ambrose.
But I have to speak to him.
Didn't you hear what I said? He doesn't speak to nobody. He hides away in his hut and sends everyone away. I'd think long and
So
hard
Holy
before
Thursday is
doing
not a day of
anything if I was
obligation.
you.
It is traditionally mass. Neither is Good Friday because there is no mass held on Good Friday. So that's actually an interesting little tidbit that not everybody realizes. The quote service, as it would be technically called on Good Friday, is not a mass because the only 3 days really in the entire liturgical calendar during which there is no mass is between Holy Thursday and Easter. Holy Thursday is the last mass, the night of Holy Thursday, celebrating the first mass, the Last Supper, is the last mass to be held before Easter Sunday, or technically, I guess, before the Easter Vigil, but it counts as Easter Sunday for liturgical reasons. Nope. Yummy. Apples. Alright, let's go to Apollonia and let's go...
Sorry
about that. Let's go check on that... Let's go check on that... Oh, it's up there, huh? Okay. I could go... Yeah, I'll just take the road, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. Let's go this way. Seeking Man. Kind of pilgrim? Oh, it's a guy with, was a mercenary?
What are you doing here?
Searching for treasure.
Okay.
I was being serious.
What do you mean? I've got this.
Hang on a minute. Let me open my screen capturer.
Your treasure map, and I'm looking for gold.
Well, don't be shy. Let me see it.
And why would I do that? So you can pinch it?
I only want to help. I know these parts. What if you're looking in the wrong place entirely?
Well, you could be right. Fuck it. Here, take a look.
Oh,
but
yeah,
give it
Imp
right
Simp.
back.
A jelly off, huh? Unfortunately, this is the best screenshot I can get, but it'll work. It'll do the job. I've actually gotten this already. I've gotten this treasure, so I don't actually need the map, so I can just give it back to him. There you go.
Here you go. I can't help you, I'm afraid. It doesn't ring any bells.
Thanks anyhow.
I've already
I'll
gotten
keep
it.
looking.
I found that treasure while I was out doing an explore. So no big deal. But yes, so Sundays do technically count as Lent for fasting purposes. It's complicated. So they don't count as Lent for fasting purposes, but they do count for Lenten obligations. So fasts that you take on do need to be maintained on Sunday. What that doesn't mean, though, is that fasting, per se, fasting rules do not need to be followed on Sunday, because Sundays are the equivalent of solemnities, right? That also applies to solemnities, which there aren't during Easter, or during Lent. I don't think there are any solemnities during Lent. So Sundays are part of Lent. The reason that the numbers add up oddly, I think, has to do with Holy Week, because I think technically the Triduum doesn't count as Lent, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. Oh, there are two solemnities during... What are they? I forget. I believe you, I just don't remember. Okay. Let's see where this hermit's hut is. Huh? It's gotta be somewhere up. Oh, I almost passed it, didn't I? Okay. Sorry, Pebbles. I'm just gonna leave you here. Go with that. Oh, hey, there's a path that goes straight to it, isn't there? Of course there is. But yeah, solemnities don't count for fasting either. You should not fast during solemnities. St. Joseph's? Wait, St. Joseph's feast day is a solemnity? I didn't think it was technically a solemnity. I know it's a feast day, but... Palm Sunday is... Is it technically a solemnity? I know it... I mean, it falls on a Sunday, so solemnity... I don't know if there is a... I won't say cancel each other. I won't say that they, like, cancel out. It's just that, Sundays are already high holidays, essentially. Come here. Come here.
What are you doing here? Stop pestering me and get out!
Can I talk to you?
Radovan, the blacksmith from Takov, sent me.
And what's that got to do with me? Clear off!
Oh, the Annunciation. Of course.
Equam
Of course.
memento rebus in arduis avarimentum. What are you doing
Okay.
here? Stop pestering me and get out!
Okay. What am I supposed to do here? Find out the truth about the devil. Question the witnesses. What witnesses?
What do you want here?
There's his shithole. Loophole. Yeah, the Annunciation. How could I forget? That makes perfect sense. Of course it is. Though, that said, the Annunciation does not always fall during Lent. So, it did this year, but it doesn't always. That is sometimes during or even on Easter. March 19th was the Solemnity of St. Joseph. March 25th is... Yeah, the 25th is always the Solemnity of the Annunciation. Yeah, that's an important one. That's fair, yeah. I forgot because it's not, like I said, because it's not always, or honestly, it's not even usually during Lent. It's maybe 50-50 at most. Okay, where are these monks with daggers? Seems sketchy to me. Oh? There's a guy down there by my horse. What's going on here? Excuse me. Oh, there's a couple of guys here. Hey. Oh,
What
you're just
the-
bandits.
Somebody, please!
Ooh, he just master-stroked me. Come on.
Shit! I'll rip your ass open!
Come on. Bring it.
Take that!
This guy's good. Was good.
Do it! You son of a bitch!
I yield. Mercy.
You better.
I surrender. Let me go.
Give me everything.
All right, easy. You
All right.
promised to free me. Now
Run away
keep
without
your
shoes.
word.
That's a broad longsword. A nice blade. Okay, hold on. Let me talk to this guy first. Hey, buddy. You okay?
Fuck! I'll never leave the house again. You'll see.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Nah, don't mention it. I'm just glad you're all right.
All thanks to you. Here, take this. A keepsake. And thank you again.
He looks a little beat up. And the Russian's a keepsake. Okay, fine. I'll take the bassinet. That's quite valuable. Milanese brigandine. Nice. Oh, man, this guy is nicely kitted out. It's incredible. I'll take it. This guy's really nicely kitted out. Oh, wait, hold on. I need to give him back some of this crap that I don't need to take, like a heater shield and like, no, like a mail collar and a skull cap. 100 nah, not worth carrying. I'm gonna keep the rusted plate. It was a gift. I'll put it in my chest and leave it there forever. Have the collars back. The mitts, he can have his buddies' mitts. Not that they're, his buddies, really. Simple shoes. He doesn't need shoes. That should do. Well, that didn't help me. That's not what I was looking for. I was looking for where this... where these strange monks with daggers are. I need to question the witnesses, but where? Oh, what's this? Quest tipsters and a combat arena. In Samin. I should check that out, but not just now. How do I find out the truth about the devil? I should find out if there's any truth to it. Question the witnesses before going to see him. Where are the witnesses? Troskovitz? Yeah, I'm going to go back to Troskovitz, now that I know where this is, I suppose. I mean, talking to him didn't help at all, so I'm going to go back to Troskovitz real quick. We got the time, I suppose. I think it'll also be much quicker to fast travel to the castle. To wash off.
Greetings.
Okay.
There's something else I need to...
Okay, what about the strangers?
Where did these peculiar monks come from?
Hard to say, but they rode in on well-fed horses.
Monks on horseback? That's definitely odd.
Well, Bashka the Butcher says they came from the bishop about that diabolical apparition. In short, the Inquisition.
Interesting. Okay, so maybe I've got to talk to the butcher, huh?
What do you know about this apparition?
Stanislav, the herds boy. He comes running into the village that night, all terrified, saying he'd seen a rider from hell in Apollonia. And the very next night, it appeared in the rocks below the road to Tahov. There's this conciliatory stone cross there. And the next day, it was at a funny angle. There's some devilry in it for sure.
There's a lot to talk about there.
And it was the herds boy who saw it by the cross, or someone else?
The apothecary's wife, Gerda. Ask her yourself. She's not been herself ever since, poor woman.
Okay, to Gerda.
Where can I find the herds boy?
Stanislav has a sheep pen in the meadow beyond the Troskovitz graveyard, right above the big crossroads outside Apollonia.
I've talked to him. Okay. Alright, that should be fine. Let's talk with some people, shall we? Okay, so I need to talk to the villagers in general. Gerda, I do want to also talk to the butcher. Who's over here? Lacrosse. Right. Let's talk to Gerda.
Why is this all
That's not where the apothecary is. It's over here.
Bailiff Thrush tell you?
You, Gerda? Yes, you are.
Lord be with you.
I'd like to ask you about something.
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Go away, please.
That bad, huh? Let's try and help, shall we?
Wait, Gerda. I didn't come to mock you. On the contrary, I want to help you.
Really?
I believe you really did see something. But I want to know what it really was.
So, what do you want me to tell you?
What's this place where you saw the apparition?
It's a conciliatory cross, erected in the memory of some innocent's death. They say some years ago, a young fellow killed himself on account of an unhappy love affair. He jumped from a cliff.
And the day after you saw the apparition, the cross was at an angle.
Aye, all askew. Everyone here saw it. I didn't go back. I can't.
Relax, Gerda. Have a think, and then tell me what happened with the apparition.
It was the day before yesterday. I was picking marshmallow roots above the rocks. It grows by the cross there, near the big dry tree not far from the road to Tahoe. I didn't get home till after dark when I suddenly realized I didn't have my knife.
So you went back to the cross?
God have mercy. He hopped up right out of the ground in front of me. He was all in black and he was grinding his teeth. I started to scream. There was something glinting in the dark and this clanking sound, and I just turned and scarpered.
That's all?
At one point I turned around and I saw a dark shadow darting across the field.
God.
Proper flying along it was, like the devil, and heading straight to Apollonia.
Okay.
Don't worry, Gerda. Nobody's going to make fun of you anymore. I'll find out what it was all about and what you really saw there.
What do you think happened?
I don't know yet, but you needn't fear. Everything will get cleared up soon.
Thank you. By all of the saints, thank you. But please, come and tell me how it turned out. I'll make it worth your while.
Okay, okay. Alright then. Need a little wash up.
Gerda really did see something. That cross hides a secret.
Okay, let's go talk to the butcher, see if he has anything to say. Then, briefly, we'll talk to Stanislav, and we'll check the cross. I know the butcher is not on my quest list, but I still want to ask, because, what's her name? Betty did mention him. So let's go ask.
You're always welcome here, good sir.
Oh.
People have already been seen around.
It ain't no skin off my nose.
Greetings.
God grant you health.
Greetings to you two.
I heard something happened to Ambrose the Hermit.
Too right. He sends everyone packing right away. He's changed a lot.
Same voice as Radova.
I hear Ambrose the Hermit has some old sword.
Aye. He used to have it hanging on the wall in his hut, but then he took it down. He might have sold it.
Uh-oh. Kinda hope not.
I hear the devil was seen here.
God above. Give over with that. God be with you.
Good day.
Whoa, hold on.
I heard Stanislav had some kind of nighttime vision. A diabolical apparition.
Mary, Mother of God, protect us. A few days ago, he ran into the village on his last legs with fear. He said he saw a diabolical horseman down at the crossroads.
What happened by the conciliatory cross?
Who knows what Gerda saw there? But it must be some diabolical goings-on, because the cross really was turned around.
Okay.
See you later.
Bye-bye. Alright, well, let's go talk to Stanislav. And then we'll go check the cross out. Shall we? By the way, this is the new home of Ignatius, so I wonder if I can find him. Maybe Ignatius is the devil. You ever thought of that? Anybody think of that? Maybe.
Good day to you. I hear you saw some diabolical apparition. Is that true?
Ah, you're that wolf hunter, Henry, aren't you?
Yeah.
I did help him
This
out.
time I need something from you. What about that apparition? Tell me.
Why do you want to know? Forget that shit, pal. It reeks of fire and brimstone.
Yeah.
I think I did quite a lot for you and your girls, didn't I?
Eh, what? What girls?
I mean the sheep.
Aha, right. That business with the ram. Thanks again for that. What can I do for you? What did you want to know?
What exactly did you see that night at the crossroads?
A diabolical apparition. A black rider on a black horse flew into Apollonia.
Flew?
His eyes glowed, and his horse was
Flew,
black as charcoal. He turned this way and that a couple of times at the crossroads, and then darted off into the rocks. To the hermit's place, I'm sure.
I assume he meant,
turned this
like,
way and
fled.
that. That's strange. Would the devil not know the way?
I'm telling the truth. Gerda from the apothecary saw him too.
But the hermit helps people, though, doesn't he?
Aye, he did. Only now they're saying he was at death's door and sold his soul to the devil. And that was the horseman.
Why? Why would the old man have sold his soul to the devil and then kept living as a pauper in his hut?
Who knows what's going on in them rocks? Some devilish trickery for sure. See you soon, my friend.
Alright, bye. Alright, let's go check out the cross before we wrap for tonight. We got another 10 minutes, so let's go for it.
Quick!
Alright. Yeah, this way. Right? Am I going the right way? I'm not at all. So stop following the path. I'm just gonna gallop on through the fields. By the sheep.
Go!
Okay. So it's right around here. Here's that dead tree they were talking about.
The conciliatory cross.
Huh.
An old memorial to some unfortunate event. This is where Gerda saw the apparition.
A wolf. Was that the apparition? But I have to assume it was not. Also, this was not a grave. This wasn't supposed to have been a grave. Why does it look like one? So
fresh
we can eat meat on Saturdays. So there's two schools of thought. Another wolf. Okay. There's two schools of thought on this. There's an older tradition of... So Good Friday is a day of fasting. Complete fasting. So that is the normal fasting rules, which currently endorsed by the church are... The Crusaders of Red Star.
He didn't take either the coin or the books. So it wasn't a thief.
I'll
Must
take
be
them.
something else he was after.
I mean, I'll take them. It's very cool. That Waffenfrack looks really cool. Chronicle on the Knights of the Cross. Seneschal Ambrose's Decree. Orders Commandery Fire. 30 Groschen. Crusader. Okay, hold on now. Ooh, dang. If I sharpen this up, that'll be... That's actually much better than I'm currently wielding. Dang. Nice. Also, it's cooler. I like the pommel design better. Ooh, and it's got a swept forward guard too, a little bit. All right, very nice. All right, let's see. Boppity-boppity-boppity-boppity-boo. I don't actually currently have a Waffenfrock. I'll take that. Adds noise. That's weird. Much lower visibility. Lower conspicuousness? Really? Odd. Adds defense and stuff. Okay, cool, cool. Is it just under? Is it other? Crusader Cloak. What, I can't wear it? What do you mean I can't wear it? This is nonsense. So, anyway, like I said, Good Friday is a day of fasting. Holy Saturday. Ooh. Holy Saturday is... there is an older tradition, but it's a much older tradition, and it's not like... It's not in effect, it's not actively practiced by the church. But there is this much older tradition of maintaining the Good Friday fast all the way through the Easter Vigil. Right? And so the fast is to be only broken with the Eucharist of the Easter Vigil. That said, that is, like I said, not a tradition that's, like, in effect. That is not officially required in any way by the church. So, you can choose to follow that if you like, but it would be a personal devotion rather than a...
This is sharp enough as it is.
Okay. I am going to switch to longswords, though. Yeah, it's better in every way. That's a nice longsword. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll sell mine. And the mace and stuff. Anything else I need to sell? Lower visibility, very nice. Okay. Simpson says, if I tell my mom there's another tradition, she'll say that's heresy. It's not, but okay. It is an old tradition. Like the fasting through Holy Saturday is, like I said, it's an ancient tradition, and so it's certainly respectable. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with holding to that tradition. Like I said, you absolutely can. But at the same time, it would be a personal devotion rather than an obligation from the church. Oh yeah, I have to read all of these, don't I? Okay, I'll do that before we log off, because we only have like 3 minutes. I'm going to repair my stuff, I'm going to sell some things, and then I'm going to call it... then I'm going to finish up my... Not those. Okay. Like I said, sell some stuff, and marksman's kit. Nothing. We're good. Ooh. Really needed fixing. Alright, cool. Let's see how much money. Oh, he does not have a lot of money. Okay, never mind. Maybe I'm not going to sell very much. Nope. Nope. Oh my gosh. All right, he has 81. He had 81 groschen, so I'm not going to sell any of this for that. All right, that's annoying. I'll sell the copper jug, whatever.
Thank you, sir, and come again.
All right. You're kind of stuck following what they practiced in the rural 1970s. I didn't realize that it was that. But, okay, look, listen. My view of history means when I refer to a practice as, or a tradition as, small t tradition, by the way, as old, I mean like more than 1,000 years. Like that tradition, the tradition of fasting through Holy Saturday, has not been common since like the 6th or 7th century. It's old, like pre Great Schism old. All right, let's sit down and let's read some of this stuff, huh? Let's go sit in the tavern, at the tavern. We read. Change to our nicer clothes. Have a wash. Okay, let's read that stuff and then we'll call it a night, shall we?
My respects.
And sit in the shade.
You have a kind.
Yep. Alright. Old Chronicle of the Knights of the Cross with a red star. Blank sheets of parchment at the end of the book reveal the author never finished it. Interesting.
Hey, Matt.
The history and rise and the history of the rise and fall of the noble and honorable order of the Knights of the Cross. Thank God and Christ that He has been pleased to guide my hand and bless me in the unworthy thing which I have, perhaps, only presumed to do out of insolent pride. We give attention to work where others cannot, to record what is not to be forgotten. Concordia res parva crescunt, discordia res maxima dilibuntur. About the founding of the Knights of the Cross. There have always been many foreign religious orders in the Kingdom of Bohemia, but none of them have ever come from our roots. The blessed daughter of Premsil, Agnes of Bohemia, seeing the misery and suffering of her subjects who, plagued by sickness and wounds, had nowhere to turn, founded in the year 1233 at her female monastery the humble hospital brotherhood of St. Francis. By the grace of God, unity and devotion to helping their fellow men, the brothers soon achieved renown, so that only 2 years the brotherhood moved to the Church of St. Peter, under the old town of Vesha in Prague. Many clerics and priests now came with an interest in joining the order, which had not even a real order yet. In the year of our Lord 1237, through the intercession of the Blessed Agnes of Bohemia, Pope Gregory IX himself took the Hospitallers under his protection, so that no foreign power could harm them, and they would have to confess to him, to God alone. The Bull Omnipotens Deus established the Brotherhood as the Knights of the Cross. Is this actually the history of the Knights Hospitaller? I'm curious as to how accurate this is. This is very slightly outside my area, but I didn't realize they're Bohemian. A lot of this is sounding familiar, though. So medieval Aragonese people practiced it and brought it to the New World, and now I'm stuck following it. Yeah. About Judas Bridge. Blessed Daniel, the 13th Bishop of Prague, had the intention of building a stone bridge, where for centuries only deep fords and sandy paths led across the Vltava River. The bishop also won his king Vladislav II Primislid and his wife Judith when they were in Italy on a campaign against the Milanese in the summer of 1158, and took great wealth there. The bishop also enlisted excellent Italian craftsmen to build Prague's oldest bridge, so that it was said to have been built in just 3 years, so that it was possible to cross between the old town on the eastern bank and the sub-castle of the old Primislid king's seat on the west. Named Judith's Bridge, after the noble patroness of the building, it became the oldest in the Bohemian kingdom, and the third stone bridge north of the Alps, before the terrible flood of the year of our Lord 1342 destroyed it. About the founding of the hospital in Old Town of Prague. In the year of our Lord 1252, under the second Grand Master Conrad, called Swabian, because he came from Swabia, the brothers moved. The brothers moved to the foot of the Judith Bridge, found a new large hospital there. In addition to caring for the wounded and the sick, the order was given the privilege of gracious King Wenceslas I to collect custom duties on the bridge for its repairs. Okay. The new hospital was the Church of the Holy Spirit, soon became the main seat of the order, which flourished greatly in those blessed years, thanks to the beneficence of the king and other Bohemian lords. Though they thought of their immortal souls by having other hospitals built in their towns for the greater glory of God. Should we bring Byzantine lore and costumes to Renaissance fairs, like being Renaissance, mainly medieval? You could. It'd be a little odd. You could. I will say, though, like, Renaissance fairs are, like, they have a tendency to be wildly out of period anyway. Like, there's plenty of Vikings in Renaissance fairs, and there's plenty of pirates in Renaissance, like Golden Age pirates in Renaissance fairs, neither of which makes any sense. So, about the death of Blessed Agnes of Primislid. After the severe winter of the year of our Lord 1282, under the administration of the fourth Grand Master, who was Otto of Saxony, died the venerable abbess, the most holy Agnes of Primislid family, called Bohemian, who founded the Order of Knights of the Cross and contributed most to its flourishing. This woman, in her holy work, never married, although many princes aspired to her, and on the contrary, she dedicated her life to God. Together with other noble maidens, she founded the convent of the Poor Virgins of St. Clare, and became its first abbess. Here she cared for the poor and the sick, and as the daughter of the king, sought to right wrongs, always protecting the poor and from the strong and powerful. Kyrie eleison. On the growth of the order. In the Crusader Order faithfully stood by the Primislid family for many years, and for this it received many benefits. But when King Wenceslas III was assassinated in Olomouc in the year of our Lord 1306, the country was in a terrible state of lawlessness for 5 years, and the Order of the Cross fortified their monastery, but not their hearts. Many pilgrims continued to find relief from illness within the walls of the hospitals. Finally, the turmoil was ended by the coronation of the new King John of Luxembourg. The Byzantines actually invented the modern fork. Depends what you mean by fork. Like the four-pronged, the four-tined, carved from a flat, or I guess shaped from a flat piece of steel kind of thing? Or do you just mean like two-pronged things? Because a lot of Europe use the two prongs. The two-prong, like, basically it's a long, thin piece of steel that loops around in a U, but then the center of it is twisted, and so it has just two prongs. That's the most common kind of medieval fork that I'm aware of. That was actually quite common by the 10th century. The order did well in his service, but it was his son, Emperor Charles IV, who brought the order to its true growth. Thanks to him, the order acquired a wealth of learned foreign books, holy relics, and other mysteries. The order's commanderies, abandoned from the Sheb to Vratislava in Silesia. Many villages, mills, ponds, and castles fell under the sovereign power of the Grand Master Frederick. No, the modern fork, so different from the medieval like two-pronged fork. Interesting. I didn't realize that. Cool, though. On the fire of the Order's commandery, the death of the Blessed Emperor Charles IV in the year of our Lord 1378 ignited a spark of sinful hatred. Only a few hours after the death of the illustrious emperor, a red rooster engulfed the entire Order's commandery in the old town of Prague. The flames quickly consumed the entire church, the hospital, and the Order's library, containing thousands of precious manuscripts and holy relics. See, this was only like 25 years ago, and this was recounted in a tome that was buried here, spookily. Weird that this is so recent. Many of the sick and the brothers who had thrown themselves into the fire for them were burned. The terrible loss was all the greater because the land, books, and records had also disappeared. It was very well contrived, for the new Pope Urban VI did not look kindly on rich monasteries and their rebellious orders, and gave his bishops free rein to intrigue. Much of the order's property was soon lost under strange circumstances. Old Grand Master Frederick died 2 years later and could no longer look upon the misdeeds of his brothers. His successor was elected Zdenek, who, however, more than concerned with the reformation of things, was on the contrary more concerned with intrigue, and conspired with the Prague chapter against the archbishop, so that truth and unity came to a great detriment. God, what dark times have come for our order! We have fallen prey to the horror of Babylon, and have been poisoned by the poison from her breast. For by courtesy small things grow, but by discord even the great things crumble to dust. Empty. Interesting. Okay. Old letter about the Order's commandery fire. Letter to Seneschal Ambrose. Brother Ambrose, I know something that should interest you. I know who started the fire at St. Francis' Almhouse and why. They want the Grand Master removed too. Meet me tonight at the appointed place. The Dominicans from the Inquisition suspect me, and the bishop won't help us anymore. Don't trust anyone. Dominicans. I should join them. I love the Dominicans. They're kind of my favorite order. No, not the Reformation of things. This is not Germany, and this is over 100 years too early. 130 or so years too early. Appointment decree of Knight Ambrose to the honorable role of Seneschal of the Knights of the Cross, with the red star and the seal of the Grand Master. All Latin. I'm not going to bother translating it. Yeah, again, it's just an appointment. Yeah, basically, it's appointment of various roles and things. All right, cool. We'll figure this out next time, shall we? It is past midnight, so. Very cool. This is an interesting quest. I did not expect any of this. I expected a quick little, hey, let's forge a cool sword. Hey, you need to find some cool material. Go find that cool material. I did not realize how much of this. I did not realize how in-depth this quest was. So, that will be a next time. And maybe I'll find a thumbnail of some Crusaders and stuff when we return for Easter. If not, I'll have a delightfully Easter-themed one. In any case, that is all I got time for tonight. So, let me see if I'm allowed to eat from here. No. Let me see if I'm allowed to eat from anywhere. No. I'm gonna go have a snacky as I wrap up. So, like I said, we're a little late, so we'll wrap up promptly. But thank you all so much for joining me. I had a wonderful time, loving this game. Now that we're actually finally getting back into the main story of things. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Like I said, keep an eye out on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, etc. For whether I'm going to be streaming on Thursday. I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking about it. It'll depend on how my schedule is going and what kind of stuff we need to do. So I might be streaming on Thursday. We might be finishing up Jedi Outcast. If not, then have a wonderful Easter, and I will see you on Easter Tuesday. I'll see you all then. Thank you one more time for joining me. And remember, have a wonderful evening, and until the next time, don't be safe, be well, and more importantly, be good for Easter. Good night, folks. Oops. There we go.